All righty. Let's get to our first guest. Now, this is someone whom I have never met before. And this is someone that I just happened to meet on the street, and I thought that he was an interesting person. He's a businessman. Please welcome Al A. Peterson.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Austin, Texas. Thank you.
What an ovation.
Thank you so much. Well, that's wonderful. That's wonderful to see. Thank you all. What a pleasure. I'm unaccustomed to appearing in public places like this, so this is really wonderful. Thank you very much.
My, what a throaty voice you have.
Oh, thank you. You know, I've heard that before. It's admired by many people. People love to talk to me on the phone.
Do they? People call you just for pleasure.
They don't announce that's what they're doing, but who am I to judge?
Now, I have a rule. Whenever anyone calls me, I immediately ask, is this business or pleasure?
Sound.
Sound, and that is what we hear on the phone, are sounds.
You're very good at word associations. You have a promising career as a psychiatric patient.
Now, Al, may I call you Al?
You can call me Al. You can call me Al A. Peterson. You can also call me what a lot of people call me, the Smooth Criminal.
The Smooth Criminal. That's nickname?
Right. It's a nickname, a sobriquet, if you will.
Are you
Let me tell you why people call me the Smooth Criminal.
Okay, please do. Please, don't make me try to wheedle it out of you. Just get right to it.
I wouldn't dream of it. You see, they call me the Smooth Criminal because I'm a wanted felon and I am completely hairless.
Now, regarding the latter...
Sure.
I didn't want to say anything because I can only see maybe 10% of your body. I can see your head and your hands.
That's true.
So I didn't want to hazard a guess as to whether the other 90% is completely hairless.
Well, you saw a look at my face and skull, and you probably noticed no hair there.
I did.
I think my eyebrows are very obviously drawn on.
They're not even either. I don't know. Do you have someone doing it, or...
I do it myself, but I'm always on the go.
Yeah, it's hard to find enough time. It's usually by the time you go, oh, my eyebrows, it's time to go out the door. Do you end up doing them in the car?
It's true. I wouldn't even bother at all. Only I enjoy that it invites comparisons to the villain of Titanic himself, Mr. Billy Zane.
You think he was the villain? That's an interesting perspective.
What did you think he was in that movie?
I thought he was...
The guy who seized a stranger's child so that he could get in a lifeboat? Did you think he was the hero of the film? You're a curious fellow and I enjoy your company.
So, Al, you're completely hairless. That's everywhere.
That's every single part of my body where there would normally be hair. There is none.
So your hands?
Yeah, you mean the number one spot for body hair? That's right. Naked as a mole rat. So if you're thinking my story doesn't check out, it does. There's no hair on my hands.
So, okay. I'll take you at your word. I'm not going to force you to strip down or anything in front of these fine people.
Thank you.
If I were to ask you to do it, would you?
I wouldn't be surprised if I did. I'm an unconventional person.
You are. Okay. Please don't elaborate on that.
No need to.
Yeah. Now, regarding the former...
Yes.
The fact that you're a criminal...
That's right.
what exactly does that mean? There's all types of crime these days. There's drug offenses, which so many people are locked up for, and I think that's ruining America here. Too many people locked up for drug. Can we really? Come on, yeah. Is that the kind of thing that you are a criminal for?
No. I mean, hey, I feel like live and let live. You want to do drugs to alter your reality? Go right ahead. My life is plenty exciting. I don't need to add things into it. What I am is, I'm a guy. Let me start from the beginning.
Oh, sure. How far back are we going?
A few years.
Few years,
Yeah,
really?
just a few years.
Okay, this is the beginning of...
My childhood was unremarkable. My early adulthood, same. I was just a regular guy until I faked alopecia to get out of a long-term relationship. This is why I'm hairless, you see. I shave my entire body on a daily basis, including hands before you ask.
Okay, now this is interesting to me. You're faking
Is it?
It is. I mean, you've hit upon the one interesting part of your life, it seems.
That's your call, friend.
What kind of relationship were you in? Romantic?
Well, it was a romantic. Yes, it was a. When I say a long-term relationship, I didn't mean me and my broker.
You and your bookie?
Yeah, the guy who fixes my car. Scott, it was a long-term, committed, romantic relationship. We were college sweethearts. And things were great.
Where'd you go to school, by the way?
A school near Boston.
In Cambridge, maybe?
Around there, yeah.
Oh, okay.
In that neighborhood.
I think I know the one you're talking about.
Sure. Maybe you do. Who knows? Anyway. We were in love. And then as we got older, you change. You don't stay the same person you were in college. And so when I
get older.
That's one of the changes that occurs, yes.
Age.
Are you doing a Fonzie impression?
Age. Exactamundo.
In addition to aging, I think I also changed emotionally. And we started to want different things. Like, she wanted to settle down and she wanted to have a bunch of kids. And I thought that was what I wanted for a long time until somebody else said it out loud. And then I was like, no, thank you at all. I do not want that whatsoever.
She was the one to say it out loud?
Did you think we were watching a TV show and someone on TV said it?
You said someone. I thought that was a strange way to put it, so I...
Can I ask you a question just straight up?
I'm an open book. I really am.
Are you an alien impersonating a human being?
Of course not. I'm seating, right?
That's good enough for me. Anyway, I suddenly felt trapped and stifled. And I knew the one thing that would make her leave me and be okay with the relationship ending is if I shaved off all of my beautiful, luxurious hair and told her it was never coming back. Now, you have to understand, I am normally an extremely hirsute gentleman.
You're like a Robin Williams, rest in peace.
I'm almost a Sasquatch. Just a face peeking out of just a haystack of hair, shambling around like a man.
A Cousin It type.
Not that far, come on.
Oh, okay, I beg your pardon.
I think I set the parameters pretty well.
What's the difference between Sasquatch and It?
Well, Sasquatch, you can still see the definition of his body.
That's important to you?
It's important to me. And it certainly was important to my ex-girlfriend.
What's her name, by the way? Do you mind me asking?
Her name was Carlifer.
Carla Fur?
Yes. Her father's name was Carl, and her mother's name was Jennifer.
That's beautiful.
It's not. It was awkward and clunky, a terrible portmanteau. And I told her father that, and he admired me for it.
Really?
Yes, he shook my hand.
Did you say that he liked the cut of your jib?
He didn't know those words because he's not a Navy man, but he did shake my hairy hand, and he cowered before me.
That's the ultimate sign of respect.
Well, anytime you as a boyfriend can make a girlfriend's father cower before you, it feels pretty good.
What was it sort of like? Can we try? Ooh.
Absolutely. I tell you what.
Okay.
Let's reverse the roles.
Okay.
You be me, and I'll be the father. So you say to me, I'm sorry, but I think that name is terrible. It's a clumsy portmanteau of your two names.
And you can see the definition of my body, right?
Oh, sure I can. What's that all about?
doing the splits.
Why are you doing that?
Call back from earlier.
I thought we were telling my story. At no time, let me assure the audience, at no time did I do the splits during this exchange.
Well, that seems like a missed opportunity.
I'll tell you this, I have terrible hips.
Your hips aren't lying, are they?
Hips can't lie.
Oh, okay.
I have dysplasia. It's a dog disease, but somehow I caught it. I think it's when I was in college, a fun prank we would do is drink out of a dog bowl.
Who's it a prank on?
The dog.
Ha, you wanted water.
That's right. We just drink beer.
It's funny.
That was classic joke structure. I felt like we were in vaudeville for a second.
This beautiful theater. We're
I know.
Standing up like this. And
I hope the pies are standing by backstage.
Yep.
All right. Do you remember who you are?
I do. I'm you.
Do you remember who I am?
You are...
First, I'm Al A. Peterson, the smooth criminal.
But you're
essaying the role
of Carl.
Of my ex-girlfriend's father, Carl. That's correct.
Now, is Jennifer around?
She's in the kitchen.
Okay.
Secret drinker.
Where's her stash?
Oh, it's in the kitchen cupboards. She'd say, I got to go check on that roast. We had spaghetti for dinner. She goes in there. We hear all the clinking and clanking. You're not fooling anyone, Jennifer. Also, you reek of vermouth.
Was that her drink of choice?
That was her drink of choice, vermouth.
Strange.
Takes a lot to get a buzz from vermouth. That's why all the clinking and clanking.
Okay.
All right. Ready?
I'm Al E. Peterson.
Al A. Peterson.
A. Peterson.
You can remember it because it kind of sounds like Al A. Pisha.
Yes. Kind of. Did you change it?
It's just a weird coincidence.
Okay. All right. So I'm Al A. Peterson.
That's right. And I'm Carl, that sniveling worm of a husband. Oh, my wife doesn't respect me, but she's a fall-down drunk on vermouth. Kind of a life of my living. I'm a weakling. I hate myself. Oh! Hello, Al. I see you're my girlfriend. You're my daughter's boyfriend.
Whoa, Dr. Freud!
Hold on a second. Now look.
We have your first patient ready.
Now hold on a second, guys. I'm not a professional actor, okay? I don't know how those guys do it, remembering the false names that they're supposed to be living under. It's amazing to me. I'll watch like an episode of NBC's Blind Spot. Everyone's calling her Jane Doe. I expect the actress on screen to say, Jane Doe, that's a fake name. Oh, that's me. Hats off to that lady. She's dynamite.
I think the first 5 minutes of every TV show should be people figuring out what their names are.
Why do you think that should be the case?
It sets me at ease as a viewer.
I understand that.
Yep.
For me, I like to wear a thunder shirt when I watch television. That puts me at ease. It's also a prank on my dog.
Look what you don't get.
It's fun. It's fun to play pranks on a dog. Guess what? They'll fall for it every single time.
All right, we're going back to the
I'm
scene
Carl,
here.
yes. Back to one. Hello, Al. You are my daughter's boyfriend.
Yes, and you are my girlfriend's father.
Correct. Say, what do you think of my daughter's name that we came up with?
I hate it. It's a clumsy portmanteau.
Put her there. Please don't hurt me. That's pretty much exactly
That's
how it went.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice. That reminds me, that word, Ryan. Do we have the Hollywood Facts theme?
Nice.
Well, it's Hollywood Facts, and we're going downtown. Going to Inglewood now. Everybody know your facts and know your stars. There's glitz and glamour and lots of cars. Get a drink at a club, then go walk in front of the Chinese theater. Hollywood Facts. Take out your dick. Check out the facts. It's the Hollywood Facts, bro.
Yeah.
How does everyone know that song?
It took the country by storm.
I just know it because it was one of our college jukebox favorites. It would be Sweet Caroline, American Pie, and the Hollywood Facts theme.
So good.
Right? You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
Anyway, Scott, if you don't mind.
Sure.
I am out here because I'd like to promote my business.
I don't think that we ever finished the story of your girlfriend.
So I faked alopecia.
Right. She was very into your hair.
She loved it.
She loved it.
It turned her on, man. She couldn't get enough of it. She would run her fingers through my head hair, my chest hair, my hand hair, and sometimes my calf hair.
Calf hair?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I had incredibly thick calf hair.
What about your thigh hair?
It was a little spotty on my thighs. I was always embarrassed, so I'd wear board shorts to the beach.
So, you faked alopecia, enough said.
I told her, Carlifer, it's never coming back, baby. This is it from now on. I have a totally bald body.
Did it and it all happened overnight? Like it all fell out? Was she at work and she came back and you were totally hairless?
Did you miss the part where I said I shaved it all off?
But not in front of her, obviously.
No, of course not. Hey, you have all the makings of a criminal yourself.
I'm always figuring out the angles.
That's right. It's like a Sting in here.
Not Sting the singer.
No. No, not Sting the singer. That's why I said the Sting. It's not a title. We're not going to have a new Sting after Sting dies.
I don't know. I would kind of like it. Like, we should have a new Prince, right?
I don't think so. I think that is an unpopular opinion. What a bold declaration you just made.
I just think whoever's next in line, like, one of the guys in Boyz II Men or something, could just take over being Prince.
Probably would be about the same, sure. Like nothing ever happened.
So,
she was, of course, very upset. And she said, maybe we can still stay together. And I said, uh-oh. So I waited till she was asleep, and then I bolted out of there.
So wait, it didn't even work.
It sure didn't. I guess I misjudged her character. She turns out to be a pretty decent person.
What city was that back in Cambridge?
By this point, we'd moved on to, let's just say, Anytown, USA. I'm trying to protect Carlifer's identity. I probably should have said her name.
And her parents' name.
And her parents' names. But how do you know that's not a lie? I am, after all, a smooth criminal.
Oh, yes. Well, getting to that, the smooth criminal, you have a business.
Yes, I have a business. It's a criminal enterprise. We help people fake their own deaths.
Okay, this is interesting. So people who are in situations that they feel are inescapable.
They need a new life for whatever reason. Maybe they got in trouble at work. They embezzled money from their employer. Maybe they're in a loveless marriage. Maybe someone said, I'm going to beat you up next time I see you. And they're like, I'm not taking any chances. I got to get a new life.
Okay.
Parking tickets.
I guess. So
maybe somebody pulled too many pranks on a dog and the dog's looking for revenge.
Rise of the Canines. That's a good movie.
By canines, do you mean the teeth in the human head? Do you see what it's like?
I guess so. Okay, so you have this business.
That's right.
You're helping people fake their deaths.
That's right.
How do they find you, first of all?
There's signals out there that you got to know to look for. You've heard of like the dark web.
I have. That's the internet that is hard to get on?
That's right. You need a password. And it's like I don't think it's a WPA. I think it's like a WEP, whatever. It's a really hard one.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. There's certain ads in the classified section.
In the classifieds on the dark web?
No, I'm saying in addition to
okay.
Hey, man, you got to pay attention here. I know you're looking for pun opportunities, but
I'm not. I'm trying to follow your story.
My story is very simple. I'm a regular, boring guy covered head to toe in hair. I faked alopecia to get out of a long-term relationship. And now I run a business helping people fake their own deaths. Are you caught up now?
I'm caught up. So you have classified advertisements.
Yes. Sometimes we'll hire a skywriting plane to write things in the sky like, looking to fake your own, and then like they'll draw a skull.
Ooh. That's cheaper, I would imagine, than the whole word death.
It is, but the whole enterprise is very expensive, especially because we don't give any further information. What we're counting on is people just looking around so that we can go, it's like, hey, over here.
So people are at the beach. They look up in the sky. They see this.
That's right.
And you're there in board shorts.
That's right. Well,
pointing at yourself.
Not anymore. Now I can wear a Speedo because I'm all hairless.
Oh, okay. So do you?
Of course I do. I have a beautiful physique and I love to show it off. It's my one vanity, now that my hair is all gone.
Why do you still keep your hair hairless?
So that Carlifer can't find me.
But she knows what you looked. She saw you.
She hasn't seen me with the eyebrows. She might mistake me for the villain of Titanic, depending on your point of view, Billy Zane.
Okay. This makes sense.
It does.
So people contact you.
That's right.
They say they're in a tough spot.
That's right.
They want to get out of it.
Yes.
What do you do?
I say, we're going to shave your entire body. Then I give them a fake passport and they're on their way.
Okay, and they're fine with this plan.
Well, they don't know any better. I'm a criminal and they're not.
Right. Who shaves them? Do you do it?
Oh, no. I make them shave themselves while I watch. It's a hard thing to do by yourself. Trust me, I know.
So you're giving them moral support, or you're...
I'm sort of acting as the mirror for the hard-to-get spots. And while the process is happening, I play I'll Be Your Mirror by the Velvet Underground.
Now you're doing it.
It actually becomes a very pleasant and soothing experience.
Yeah.
And afterwards, we have chamomile tea together.
I'm trying to think of the hard-to-reach spots. I can think of the back.
Right.
And the exit-only butthole.
Usually we don't go quite that far.
You're not going to the butthole? I thought you said that...
Well, I did because I had to fake alopecia.
So your clients are shaving everything But the butthole.
But their anus, yes.
It's truly a butthole. Everything but.
I'm not arguing. Oh, I see what you're saying. Fun. Hey, you got another one in there.
So, is that something you go over with them? Like, hey, we're not going to go that far.
Sometimes they ask. Sometimes they request. But my answer is always the same. Let's keep a little piece of you in there.
Something to remember you by.
Exactly. If you ever want to return to your old life, you've already started.
Casually stroke that and you'll be transported back home.
Some magic.
Mentally.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Fantastic. So they shave their whole bodies. You get them out of the country. They go to another country.
Oh, that's up to them.
Okay.
I just have them shave themselves and I give them a false passport.
So they're gone.
I'm not a babysitter, you understand?
Sure. But they're gone. How do you fake the death part?
I usually just go up to their loved one or employee or whatever and say, hey, that guy died. Did you see that? Oh, it was crazy. I act like it just happened.
Good enough for them.
Seems to be. I don't stick around to find out. I'm on the lam.
You're on the lam.
Yeah, I'm a criminal.
I don't think
being hunted as we speak. I shouldn't even be here.
Did we ever talk about that? What is your crime?
Well, I'm running a criminal enterprise. That's my crime. But that's not why I'm being hunted.
Yeah, why are you on the lam? It seems like if you're getting away with it.
I'm not being hunted by the police. I'm being hunted by Carlifer.
She's hunting you.
Yes. Because when I left, I took a favorite hoodie. I was cold. All of a sudden, I didn't have any hair on my body. It was the first thing by the door. We've always been the same size, something we've prided ourselves on as a couple.
She's the same size, but you have an impressive physique. She has the exact same...
Yes, she does indeed. She's an impressive lady.
You're built like a triangle. You just like...
That's
wow.
right.
Such broad shoulders.
So is she, but like a feminine triangle.
Like a triangle with like a wave in the middle? Like a boob wave?
I think I'd hear what you're saying, brother.
So, what kind of hoodie is it?
Oh, it's so good. It's like, it's really soft. And it's sort of a cobalt blue. It's a very flattering color for pretty much anyone.
Why don't you just send her the hoodie back?
It's a really good hoodie.
Yeah. Why don't you buy another one and send her that one back, and maybe she'll think it's the same one.
You don't know Carlifer like I do. She can spot a counterfeit hoodie a mile away.
Yeah, I see. So that, I mean, I don't know that it's a crime to steal a hoodie from someone you're living with. Is it a crime?
If you stop living with them, I think that it is. It's certainly, they're not going to call it the major crimes unit. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. They're not going to put out an APB on the guy who stole the hoodie. But once she finds out I'm faking the deaths of people, that's not going to look good for me, is it?
And you think she's going to find this out? Interesting.
If I know her, yes, she will. Mm-hmm. She's quite a remarkable woman.
What was her profession? Or what is her profession?
She's a bounty hunter.
Okay. Seems like someone you don't want to steal a hoodie from.
I was cold. I think.
Yeah, I get it. Well, that's fantastic. Well,
is it? What a strange thing to say. Even I wouldn't say my story is fantastic.
It's very interesting, is maybe what I should say.
I'll agree with that.
Okay, it's very interesting, and good luck to you with your business.
Thank you. What a generous person you are. You're really non-judgmental.
Are you out here you trying to drum up some business? Maybe there's someone out here who wants to fake their death?
I just want you people to know, if anyone here is tired of the situation you're in now, you need to get out. I got 4 Gillette Mach 5 razors and 6 cans of Barbasol. one fake passport, so this offer is really only for one person.
Male or female?
We'll figure it out.
When you're hairless, anything goes.
Everyone, use the same picture for every single fake passport.
All right, very good. Well, can you stick around?
I have literally nowhere else to be.
All right, fantastic.
Fantastic.
Your story is fantastic.
In the most literal sense of the word.
It certainly is. All right, well, we have to get to our next guest, if that's all right.
Guys, we have to get to our next guest. We talked to him in Austin, Texas, and I can't remember why he was there. He may have been on the run. I can't recall. But please welcome Al A. Peterson, a.k.a. The Smooth Criminal. Hello.
Scott, thank you very much. What a pleasure to see you once again.
That's what your voice sounds like. That's right.
Just like this.
It does.
Yeah.
Hi, it's a very smooth voice.
Thank you.
As well as you being the smooth criminal, you are also the owner of a smooth voice.
Well, as I've told you before, a lot of people like to just call me up on the telephone just to hear me say hello.
Just to hear you say hello, and then
That's
they
right.
hang up?
Hang up very quickly.
And does that bother you, or does it make you fearful?
It's extremely irritating.
I can imagine.
I think someone's needing to talk to me for some reason. They hear me say hello. I hear a sort of swooning sound, and then they hang up.
A swooning sound, like a, oh!
Exactly.
And then a fall to the floor, or?
Yes, they are unconscious.
Well, maybe that's why
I would presume.
they're not saying anything other than...
I mean, I'm just hearing this. I'm not seeing the display.
Sure. Welcome to the show. This is Cameron. This is Rhea.
Oh, hello.
They both...
Hello, ladies. How are you?
Hello. I love your voice so much.
Thank you.
Because I just have this very dumb lady's voice. As you know, nobody can understand what women say or differentiate them from each other at all. But you have this very gift of golden throat.
I have the gift of golden throat, much like the golden-voiced homeless man, if you remember him from a few years back.
Ty
that
Zonde
guy.
or something?
Not Tay Zonde was, of course, the author of Chocolate Rain.
I'm forgetting my pop culture memes.
I think his name was Ted Williams, of all things.
Oh, of
That's
all
right.
names
Yes,
to have.
he shared the name
That's
with a famous,
all the names.
a
Totally.
famous baseball player.
right, yes.
They
Crack of
both
the bat.
displayed the same name. That's right.
Play ball.
Sound of the popcorn. Cracker Jacks, look out.
Cracker Jacks, you're going to be eaten during the seventh inning stretch.
It's an out-of-the-park foul ball.
Another one. This is unprecedented.
That's right.
He's
The
not going to touch them all.
27th.
You know that expression, you knocked it out of the park? No one ever says to say that someone did something wrong. You knocked it out of the park, but it was a foul ball.
Yeah, well, this is what I was saying earlier before
were you
came
really?
in.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. It's interesting. Great minds, my friend.
Yeah, I think someone should clarify, and one should be on the edge of their seat when they
Someone
hear
should.
something like that. You
That's
knocked it out of the park. And it was fair. And then we can celebrate after that. I don't know.
I like the idea of they're apprehensive because they don't know if they're going to get the addendum, but it was a foul ball. And so you knocked it out of the park. That's the end of the positive version. Mm-hmm. Who knows how long that person will wait in that state of anxiety?
Sure.
They'll have to just assume after, say, it's reasonable to assume after an hour. I guess I did well.
Oh, well, I guess I better
Yes.
turn around and leave.
Exactly.
Instead of stare at this person.
That's right.
Also, by the
Like
way,
they're on display.
the foul ball part of it is not the opposite of the fair ball part of it. The opposite of a home run would be a strikeout.
That's exactly
This
right.
is just merely you knocked it out of the park and you have another strike unless you already have two strikes, in which case the count remains at 0-2, 1-2, 2-2, 3-2.
Yeah, but Scott, I mean, you can hit a home run in one
At
one
bat.
pitch, at one pitch, but you can't strike out in one pitch. So I feel like that's like
If you
actually
swing at it 3 times, like I saw in a cartoon once,
Really? So,
When they go on, then their legs come into a pretzel.
it was this rabbit. There was no rule against the rabbit playing baseball. So
right, much like the Air Bud clause.
I mean,
Yes, he-
rabbits can play baseball, but women, nah, they might get hurt.
exactly.
it was a male rabbit.
softball for them.
Yeah.
This was a male rabbit. He's a bit of a wiseacre, and he threw a slow ball, and it caused the opposing batter to swing at it.
And who was the opposing
3
batter?
times in a row.
Was it a bald gentleman?
Well, I couldn't tell. He was wearing a baseball cap.
Oh, okay. Not a hunter's cap?
No, not a hunter's cap.
Okay, this is a different guy than I'm thinking of.
Yes, you're thinking of a hunter. This was a baseball player.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you,
Al.
It's wonderful being in the studio. I feel like it's a safe space.
It really is. I feel that way too. Do you guys feel that way? It's just kind of the space where we can say anything and people will listen to it.
Oh, well then I might as well inform the audience that I am the smooth criminal, L.A. Peterson. And
Right.
I'm called that because, number one, I am a wanted felon. And number
Right.
two, I am completely hairless.
Completely hairless,
Yes.
by the way, and I knew you were from the parts of your body that are visible to me.
You were able to see roughly 10% of my body, which is my head and hands.
Right.
And as we established last time we spoke,
So you're
the hands, of course, one of the hairiest parts of the body.
For some,
you're hairless
the
everywhere,
late Robin
though.
Williams.
Yes, I have no hair on my body.
Oh boy, this is, I have to say, my favorite type of man.
Why is that? Because it reminds you of your swim captain days? I've
That's
done
right.
a little research.
Yeah. Well, I love to think about a man that could go right through the water so fast.
Like the man
Without
from
leaving hair
Atlantis.
behind. Oh, Patrick Duffy.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's a famous Buddhist.
Is he now?
That's right. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, my friend.
Welcome to the show. Now, you are
Thank you once more.
You are complete. We're still in the welcoming phase, by the way.
Oh, of course.
You're completely hairless. You've shaved your knuckles, or how do you become hairless?
Well, I became hairless because I faked alopecia to get out of a long-term relationship.
Right, and this is with a woman who did not care for a hairless man.
Carla Fur. She was one of the things.
Carla
that
Fur-
she-
what was it?
Carla Fur. It was a portmanteau's combination of her parents' names, Carl and Jennifer.
Carla
Carla Fur.
and Jennifer. So
Were
it
her
was
parents?
Carl.
and Jennifer.
Oh, okay.
Did I say Carla? I misspoke.
Oh, okay.
Well,
So
you're around lesbians, I get it.
What a display.
Carl and Jennifer had a baby, and they decided to name her Carlifer.
That's right.
And I can't recall. Did you not like that?
I didn't think it was good. I thought it was a clumsy portmanteau. And I told her father that, and he respected me for it.
So let me
I
ask
think
you.
that's my favorite part. Before we continue, that's my favorite part of the story, that he respected you for
I
it.
think we talked about it at
We
great
talked
length.
about it at great length, and maybe if you listen to the episode, reenacted it.
That's right. Yes, we did. Indeed, we did.
Because I find that part fascinating.
Well, he was a coward. He was a sniveling worm.
And you, what was it? You knocked on his door, and that was the first thing you said to him. What? How did this unfold?
I was there for dinner. The family was very fond of me.
And you'd already met them
Carl,
several
that
times.
sniveling worm, and Jennifer, a secret drinker. Yes, I was very much entrenched in the family.
How long had you been with Carla for?
We were
this time?
college sweethearts. We'd been together for several years.
So you'd known these people for so long.
Very dear to me.
And you're sitting at dinner.
What kind of sides were they serving at this
Yeah,
dinner?
this is a good
Did
question.
Like broccoli or like
Well, as I
carrots or like
as
cauliflower?
As I recall, we were having spaghetti, which included many spices, including fennel. And
That
It's been a
sounds-
sausage spaghetti.
Yeah, that sounds like it
Or
was,
did it have meatballs?
we had, there were meatballs.
Okay, so that was
And
with
so that
allspice,
was
I would
with-
think.
No, that was with oregano, my friend.
Okay.
All spices for all of the meats.
Okay.
So we were sitting there at the table. I was having my spaghetti, and the sides. I believe you asked.
Yeah.
We had, of course, fresh garlic bread, home baked garlic
Fresh.
bread.
Oh my gosh.
right out of the ground.
We had a broccoli rabe. Some people find its bitterness a little too intense. I enjoy it.
I think it's too intense.
You think it's too intense?
Oh, yeah.
Where do you stand?
Oh, I was gonna ask separately if you had any of those KFC mashed potatoes in a little self-containing box.
You know, we were trying to limit the piles of carbs to just the one. So I think we just had the spaghetti.
can't
We did
believe
not have
you
a
had
side of mashed potatoes.
Spaghetti without
Mashed potatoes?
side of KFC mashed potatoes.
That's odd. Usually spaghetti comes with a side of KFC mashed potatoes. That's-
In a true Italian household, yes.
yeah, that's strange.
Were you raised in Pee-wee's Playhouse?
I want to hear how you brought it up and how it was received.
You?
How did you broach
You'd
the
like
subject?
to revisit this again?
I do because not everyone heard it, and I don't recall. But this makes me laugh a lot.
Well, we were sitting there at dinner. Jennifer, my beloved's mother, of course, was 4 bottles of vermouth in. That was her drink of choice.
Vermouth.
Yes. She
Not-
was a
not with-
closet vermouth alcoholic.
Okay. 4 bottles.
Of vermouth milk?
She
Can't
drank-
believe they didn't vermouth it from the house.
It takes a lot of...
Are you doing her?
Don't ask it that way. Yes. Yeah. Sometimes.
Let me just say, in terms of wordplay, remove and vermouth.
I mean, it's a stretch.
They sort of sound kind of alike. But I don't necessarily know that one holds water.
Hey, you know what? I think you hit it out of the park. Foul ball, though.
Oh.
It's foul. That's foul.
Well, what an impressive show
Right
of strength.
off the pole. Right off the pole.
It's not like I whiffed.
Like they say about Pokemon, gotta touch them all.
So
Carl turns to me and, all night long he'd been seeking my approval because
he's a sniveling coward.
Sniveling worm.
Right.
And
in what way had he been seeking your approval up till that point? Was it like,
well, before we started dinner, he folded his paper and he said, "Hey, Al, what do you think of the way I folded my paper? Pretty good, right?"
His newspaper that he had been reading.
That's right.
As a man of business does when they return home.
Yes, he was sitting in his chair.
So he folded his paper and said, "Al, what do you think of my paper?" And you said to him,
I said, "Great job. You knocked it out of the park."
And then he said,
I let him hang there for a little bit.
Sure. Just
and then I turned away to indicate I'd completed my sentence.
Okay. And so you're at dinner.
Yes.
And how does he bring this up?
He turns to me and says, "Al, you know my daughter you're dating?" And I said, "Yes, of course I do. We've been dating for several years now." He said, "What do you think of her name, Carlifer? You know, it's a combination of my name and my wife's name."
Had you not realized that up to this point?
Oh, I knew. A boyfriend knows.
And anyone who knows that their names are Carl and Jennifer and her name.
That was a close one. You almost didn't pluralize names.
Boy, can you imagine if I didn't? The show would have went off the rails.
Ooh, foul ball.
That's another thing. Going off the rails is sometimes great if, you're retiring the train and putting it into the junkyard.
I still don't know if that's what you want it to do. I'm not
Would you
sure
like
that's
to
true.
vermouth this section from the podcast?
Continue, because I want to hear exactly your response.
Well, I turned to him and I said, "Carl, in fact, I don't like it. It's a clumsy portmanteau." And he said, "Put her there, Al." And then I shook his hand as he cowered before me.
Did he take a lower?
Yes, we reenacted this.
Oh, we did
in Austin, Texas. Yes.
Now, I'm a feminist, so a part of me feels like you should have included the mom, not his wife. I feel like you should have included Jennifer.
I would like to have, but she might as well have had X's on her eyes. She was so drunk on vermouth.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She couldn't participate in the conversation.
I hope that he filled her in the next day.
That's a good question. I don't know when she suffered these vermouth blackouts if he caught her up on the events of the previous evening or not.
And how did Carlifer feel about this?
She hated her name.
She hated her name?
She hated her name, but she loved her parents. And so she went by she could have just gone by Carla, but she went by Carlifer. She insisted, call me Carlifer.
Really? Even your pet name. Did you have a pet name for her?
Oh, I'd call her anything but Carlifer. I couldn't stand it. But she insisted, call me Carlifer.
Wow. So now why did you not care for her anymore, and why did you want to get out of this relationship?
Well, as we discussed before.
Sure. I don't want to go too much into it, retreading territory, but a lot of people haven't heard the episode.
I know, and they should. They should go to howl.fm, sign up for a subscription. It's a very reasonable fee.
Sure.
We just became different people, We'd gotten together in college, and then, we changed, or at least I did. I wanted different things. And she said, "I'd like to settle down and have a whole bunch of children." And I said, "I don't want that at all. No, thank you."
And
Typical man.
Did she want to make portmanteaus out of the two of you's names? So it would have been like Carla Feral? Carla Feral?
I think you're looking for the word cauliflower.
Cauliflower, yes.
She wanted to call us cauliflower.
Wow. That's another reason to get out of it.
I didn't want to be called cauliflower.
No.
And I loved her, but I realized I loved my freedom more. And so knowing that Carlifer loved my extremely, extremely hairy body, and I'm talking the whole thing.
She was into this. You were not a butterfly. You were a bear.
That's right. The sexual practice.
Yes.
Display.
Thank you.
Sexual display.
So you shaved your whole bod? Was
Did
you
you
use
shave?
a razor?
Yeah. You used a razor.
Like a regular razor from
A regular razor.
Dollar Shave Club?
From Dollar Shave Club.
Wow. And
They're-
how
Are
did
they a
regular
sponsor?
maybe? How did you get the
Might
back?
have been a Harry's.
Might have been one of those two.
What I did was, you know those
Did
little...
you set up a razor and just like scrape your back on it
Like a bear?
like a butterfly?
That seems extremely dangerous.
It does.
What I did was, you know those little flags you can get for 4th of July? They're not like the teeny tiny ones. and
Sure,
they're
the
not like
type
full
that you put
size.
into the drink.
They're not that small.
They're not that
They're
small.
the kind you'd put into your lawn,
Sure.
on the front lawn.
Yes, I believe one summer I had a job installing the holders for those flags in local businesses in Arizona.
That sounds bleak. What I did
certainly
was I
was.
had to wait until 4th of July when these flags
Sure.
were being sold in great quantities.
How long did you have to wait?
Let's see. From the time I decided to leave Carlifer to 4th of July, that was
5th of July?
roughly. It was It was August of one year, and I had to wait roughly
11
a year.
months?
Yes,
Wow.
11 months.
Okay.
And so I didn't know how else to get this exact length of wood that I needed.
Right.
So I got this stick, and then I, using a sort of tape you use for ducts, I affixed a razor to that stick, and using a mirror that I had stolen from a clothing store.
Wait a minute. So this is maybe why you're the smooth criminal.
It's another crime that I've committed. Yes, I stole.
Wait, so you're also the man in the mirror?
Sometimes if I'm looking at the mirror. Not all the time.
Do you ever talk to it?
If you look in the mirror, you won't see me there.
Right. Too bad.
So you have this very long handle, is what you're saying?
It's a
Yes.
stick with a razor
With
at
a
the
razor
end of
taped
it.
to it, and then I, looking in the bathroom mirror with the stolen mirror behind me, I was able to shave my back.
You know, I feel, listen, straight up, I don't want to tell
Let's
you.
be straight up with each other.
I don't want to tell you made a mistake, but do you know they have these, it's a very long scratcher with a little teeny hand on the end?
Well, that's a back scratcher.
Yeah, you could get it from almost anywhere, almost any time of the year you could really get it a lot. And if you flipped the hand the other way and if the hand was facing towards you and then you put the razor on the other side, you could have a hand on one side, the razor on the other, you could scratch
He's
and
just
shave.
gonna stop you
Cameron,
here.
I'm going to stop you right there. Of course, I thought about that. But then in practice, trying it out, I didn't like the feeling of holding that little hand.
Yeah.
Well,
It was very unsettling.
Yeah, it's like
There's a reason that those back scratchers are the way they are.
but I mean, you could have put the razor on the back of the little hand. You
it's
know
like
what I mean?
holding the hand
And
of a
then hold
little
the
baby who's shaving
bottom
you.
of the-
You know, it's a
That's
weird
exactly
feeling.
what it's like.
Oh.
So, needless to say, you were hairful one day, and
Hirsute,
then
yes.
hirsute at one point, and then Carlifer came home, and you.
I said, "Uh-oh, Carlifer, guess what? I've come down with alopecia."
Did you have like a thermometer? Hang on.
I held it up to the light bulb.
the light bulb to make
Warm
sure.
blanket?
Yeah.
Because
I
just
said,
in
"Look,
just in
results
case
speak for
that's a
themselves."
symptom that you didn't know about, you wanted to cover your bases.
Exactly.
Which, by the
I
way,
also-
covering bases,
Yeah.
it's
Hey,
like
It's a baseball term.
it's a baseball term. I mean, certainly, but like if you cover them so that they're no longer visible.
Hey, you can't see them anymore.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
don't
what you
know.
think?
Then you
it means?
can't touch them all.
So, and what was her reaction?
Well, I didn't really stick around for a reaction. I ran away immediately.
Oh, it seems like you broke up with her. I think I was assuming that she broke up with you.
I think that she did. I think that knowing her love of my hairiness, I think this was probably a deal breaker, but I couldn't bear to stick around to find out.
So you said, "Hey, look, I've come down with alopecia."
Here's the proof with the thermometer. And of
Threw
course,
it at her.
I smeared Vaseline all over my face
Sure.
so I'd look under the weather.
Okay. You threw the thermometer at her and then took off.
That's right. Exactly right.
Okay.
That actually answers the next question I was going to ask, which is, you know, when you shave your body, there are hairs that still have a sort of a prickliness, especially if it's, I don't know, like I mean, I'm assuming you were like super hairy and like patches on your back or, you know, your bottom, things that were like, you know, you'd feel a sort of a prickly.
Did you
Well,
show
there
her?
was hair everywhere except my face. I mean, I was sort of, as I told Scott before, I was sort of like a Sasquatch, just a bare face peeking out.
So you were nude though when she came home. You were nude.
I had to be in order to sell the lie.
Did you show her every inch of your body? Did you
turned
bend
around,
over?
I did a 360.
Did you bend over and show her the old brown eye?
I was ready to, if she'd asked. If she'd said to me, prove it, I would have done so.
Yeah.
But of course, as we discussed with my service, where I help people fake their own death to get out of whatever they need to get out of.
Right. And that's a part we'll talk about soon.
That part I leave alone because that way they retain a little bit of themselves.
Sure. So, did you fake your own death? I can't recall.
Yes, I did. Several times. I have several times.
You faked your own death?
Yes. Everywhere I go, I fake my own death just to be on the safe side.
Sure. So, leaving this show here, I was going to say that after we recorded the show in Austin, I got word that you were dead.
Yes. Did you see a pile of clothes backstage?
I did.
And what
First I thought it was like the Rapture.
What looked like blood but smelled like ketchup?
Yes.
That was me faking my own death.
Right. And I was sad.
Oh, thank you very much.
That you were no longer going to be able to return to the show.
That's very
and then I got
Thank
word
you.
that you wanted to be rebooked, and I was like, wait a minute. And then
I called up your booker and I said, hey, I'm a criminal. I'd like to
right.
be on the show.
And I recalled that you have faked your own death, and I went,
Yes.
I've been got by the best.
There you go. I love it. I don't care.
You know, Al, I'm noticing you're holding a digital thermometer right now.
Always.
And I've been wondering why you had that. But now that I have heard this part of the story, and there's also a tiny flame that you've kind of sort of started to ignite.
I go everywhere with a digital thermometer and a can of Sterno.
Yeah, so I'm now I'm putting it together that I feel like you're going to fake your own death on the way out of here.
You're a bit of a detective.
Yeah, well, I mean, they don't call me, ward of Eddie Lee Capers for nothing. You know what I mean?
That's true. Maybe she's picked up something. We know
it doesn't matter.
Her father is a crime fighter.
Yeah.
What's his name? Eddie Lee Capers. That doesn't ring a bell.
J.W. Stillwater.
Oh, the famous vigilante?
Yeah.
He might be your arch enemy.
Yeah.
He might be.
I mean, you're the smooth criminal.
I mean, so far I've skated by with seemingly no interest from law enforcement. However, Carla Fur is
chasing. Are you
chasing.
doing crimes, or are you just faking deaths?
I'm helping other people do crimes. That is a crime.
To fake a death is a crime?
To defraud people, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, are they taking out like insurance?
Sometimes, yes.
Oh, that's
Sometimes
that's the big thing, or whatever, like the reveal.
How many
I think
people?
it's also, we're falsifying documents. That is for sure a crime.
Well,
How are you falsifying documents?
Well, I'm making passports for people.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Right. And how many people have you done this for?
30.
30 people. And how much do you charge?
I charge $250 per person.
$250 per person.
Yes.
quarter.
Yeah.
So are you on the show today as like sort of an ad?
Well, I'm glad you asked why I'm here.
I just wanted to know.
I was going to get to it, but I feel like
Who is the host of this
Well,
show?
I just feel like you're being very cavalier with numbers.
Oh, go Cavs.
Specific ways that you've done it, and then the price.
I'm a smooth criminal.
Yeah.
It's part of the smoothness. It's not just that I'm entirely hairless. It's also, as you hear in my voice, I'm a pretty smooth guy.
you're a pretty smooth guy.
Yeah.
So why are you here?
I'm a criminal.
Sure.
I know that's wrong, but it's the way that I'm living my life. However, that doesn't mean I can't give something back. And so, for all of my clients who are faking their own death, all the people that I shave, I'm saving their hair and I'm donating it to charity.
To like Love for Locks? What is that?
Locks of Love. No,
Locks of Love?
they won't take this hair. Locks of Love will only take very long hair that can be made into wigs for people that need them because of medical procedures.
But will Love for Locks take it, which is where you really have super much affection for like a dried salmon?
They said it's not great to have hair
Near the
around
salmon.
our fish because it's food. And I said, good point. Love for Locks. No, I've started my own foundation, which is called Here, Take It.
Here, take it.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
and
sorry.
How
I'm
does
sorry, I'm reading it wrong. It's called Hair, Take It.
hair take it?
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Okay. Yeah. That
Hair,
does.
take it.
How does this work? What do? You collect all the hair. We didn't
collect
mention you are shaving all these people, so they don't have to wait for the 4th of July.
It's a very simple process if you want to fake your own death. What I do is I make you a false passport. I shave your entire body except your anus.
Because you got to leave them some dignity.
And then a little part of themselves.
Sure. So how does your business work? You shave the people, you collect the hair.
As I said a second ago. How does the foundation work?
Yes.
Yes. Hair take it. Here's what we do. I save all the hair from my clients. Mm-hmm. And then I go to the hospital after hours.
Okay. After hours meaning after visiting hours.
After visiting hours.
Hospitals really should be open 24 hours.
I think they should be.
And that's the platform that I'm running on.
Here's what I found. Sometimes slow nights, they'll lock the front door. They'll turn out the lights, pretend not to be in there.
Right.
It's like,
go away.
The mean house on Halloween.
Yeah, certainly.
So
hopefully no one will come by tonight.
But they'll leave like a little bowl of drugs.
That's right. Morphine.
Outside, and it says take only what you need. But
That's
I
right.
will take the whole thing and
Just take all of it.
Sure. Dump it into your pillowcase.
That's a problem.
So I sneak into the hospital and I paste hair onto these sleeping people who need hair because they've gone through chemotherapy.
And who decides if they need hair? These are people who ask for
I
it?
just
or
eyeball it and then, this one's bald.
And how many times have you just put hair on a person who's intentionally bald or who's just a bald person?
Not as many as you'd think.
I would think
Usually I look for the horseshoe formation.
the Costanza?
Yes, knowing, this guy, it's male pattern baldness.
Okay.
He had his chance.
Okay.
But if the head is completely bald, then I will paste hair to that head. Sometimes I'll give him a beard and a mustache.
2 bits. And what styles are you putting it in? I would imagine you'd have to use a varieties of different types of hair as well.
Yeah, sometimes what I try to do is keep it as uniform as possible. Mm-hmm. And so if I give someone a brown head of hair, I'll also give them a brown beard, whatever. But I will admit some of these people end up being a little calico.
I, as a woman, I'm intuitive. As a detective, I put things together. And what I'm wondering is if there isn't any part of you sneaking into hospitals and making people hairy that, I don't know, isn't like you reaching back out to Carlifer. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
It just feels like...
Are you a woman, a detective, or a psychologist?
A psychologist? Is that a cross between? Is that a clumsy portmanteau of a psychiatrist and a psychologist?
That's exactly right.
Psychiatrist and Kylie Minogue.
What about Carl over here?
I feel like we're getting off topic here.
I don't know that we are.
Slightly.
What was the topic?
It was
I
how
was
does your
trying
foundation
to pin
work?
him down and just say, like,
Tell you what.
Are you asking her to marry you?
Let's pin him down. Let's pin him down after we take a break. We do need to take a break here.
Well, can I pin him down and hold him there during the break, though, too?
Yeah, tell you what. Do you mind her actually pinning you down using her knees on your arms and making sure you can't move during the commercial?
It's going to be difficult. My hairlessness makes me very slippery, even with clothes on.
Okay, well, let's try it. We'll be right back with more Comedy Bang Bang. Comedy Bang Bang, we're back here with, of course, Cameron Esposito and Rhea Butcher of Take My Wife. This Thursday, CISO, if you have a CISO, and they're peeing right now for some reason. I don't know why. Is that's kind of a rude thing to do, to pee right by the microphone?
No, we're marking the space.
Yeah, okay, I understand. And we have Al A. Peterson, the smooth criminal.
That's right.
And he, of course, has a business where he helps you fake your death.
Of course
and
I do.
he's on the lam. You're on the lam, we talked about.
Always on the lam.
Always on the lam.
Carlifer is chasing after me.
She is.
Because I stole her favorite hoodie.
So you're on the run, and Carlifer pops up every once in a while, and once she's in town, you have to skip, or...
She's always on my heels, yeah.
You have this foundation.
Yes, I do.
And you're trying
Hair,
to... Hair, take it. Is that what you say to people? Do you wake them up and say, hair, take it?
I whisper in their ear. Hair, take it.
And do they ever wake up? Do they...
Not a one.
Really?
Not a one.
Question, any babies?
Babies, by their very
babies
nature, are sometimes bald.
Yeah, so I
know,
feel like get a head start.
I didn't
Literally.
I didn't register that those were babies. I have glued hair to the heads and faces of many babies.
And given them mustaches?
Not realizing, yes, that I was giving a baby a mustache.
Until now.
Now I realize I should not have done that, and I've wasted all that hair.
So, is Cameron right about this? Are you doing this in some sort of erstwhile attempt to reconnect with Carlifer? I mean, do you miss Carlifer at all?
You know, Carlifer's a wonderful woman, and I miss her every day. I've often thought if I were a different person, perhaps we could still be together, but She's her and I'm me. And perhaps I'll be doomed to always love Carlifer, but always be running away from her.
Do you date a lot other than Carlifer?
A little bit.
Yeah.
The way I date is I just ask out women whose husbands have asked me to fake their own death. They're single now.
Wait a minute. You're asking out the women that you know. First of all, their husbands have just died.
That's right.
Presumably.
As far as they know, yes.
So they're easy pickings? Is that why you prey upon them?
Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're very upset at the idea that I'm asking them out on a date.
How soon after the presumed death are you doing this?
Hours.
And not like 240 hours. We're talking like one or two?
Mere hours. I mean, look, hey, it's one of those techniques that 9 times out of 10,
It's like a machine gun.
it's not going to work, but that 10th time.
You miss all the shots you don't take.
That's right. Baseball.
Now, these people must have funerals, yeah, for themselves?
There's a whole display, yes.
So then it would feel like if you're asking the wife out, I think we all know how long it takes to have a funeral, really kind of organize that. It's like
Sure, I think we all know how long it takes to have a funeral.
9 innings.
So if you ask out the person hours later, then it would feel like, are you too then early in the relationship to go to the funeral with that person? Or do you usually
Are you asking them out to the funerals?
I would say, usually I would say, it's a kind of a cute line. I would say, hey, if you don't have a date to your husband's funeral, I'm available.
That is the lowest of the low!
A lot of women find it charming.
Well, if you're wearing that hoodie and it's just broken in enough.
A lot of times I'm wearing them.
And they're like, wow, this hoodie's so soft.
This hoodie
Why
is
not?
so
so soft.
Yeah.
So soft.
So soft to cry on.
Soft.
I wasn't actually saying you were the lowest of the low. I was imagining when something is 6 feet under and that would be what you would say when you're sitting there at the funeral.
That the body is the lowest of the low because they're so low.
How much sleep do you get a night?
No Jared Leto, he gets 12 hours.
Why do you know this?
Yeah, I read an interview where he was talking about how he sleeps for 12 hours a day.
Oh, God.
Tell me, does anyone ever Tom Sawyer or Huck Finn their funeral? You know, stand in the back and.
You mean
Rush?
they get on a raft?
You're thinking of a different part of the story of Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer.
You mean paint a fence?
No, you're thinking again of a totally different plot point.
Boy, that book had it all.
Use a racial slur?
Of course.
Nope, not thinking of any of that.
Of course, the temptation is great to do this. And I say to the guys, look,
You're going to be tempted.
You're going to be tempted.
Because anyone who has been to a funeral, and we all know how long they last,
Yeah.
Nine innings. 9 innings.
you are on the lookout for anyone, a relative or an acquaintance or a friend who dies. You're on the lookout for a Tom Sawyer Huck Finn situation. You do a sweep. Anyone who goes to a funeral does like a visual sweep going, am I being Tom Sawyer or Huck Finn?
That's right.
And, you know, so it's something we all look out for.
The worst part of a funeral, I think, for all of us is how suspicious it makes us feel.
Yep. Is this like a Stranger Things where there's going to be cotton in the bod?
See you in the bee, my friend.
I'll see you in the bee.
That
As Bob Eubanks once said on the Newlywed
That's
Game.
right. That'd be in the bee, Bob.
We have gone off the rails, but not in the good way of when you retire
we're
a
not
train.
retiring the train?
That's right.
Oh, man, I thought we were retiring the
The
train.
perfect example.
Thanking it for its service.
Giving it a gold watch.
That's right.
Where would you put a watch on a train, I wonder?
Oh my gosh!
on its breast pocket.
No, got it.
So, how's your business doing and your foundation? Good. To wrap it up,
Business is booming.
Yep.
A lot of people would have faked their own deaths.
yeah,
I'm making $250 by the handful.
right.
And the foundation, as far as I know, it's doing great. I mean, I don't stick around to see what the reaction is. I just sneak in, paste hair
You
on.
don't stick around, you just stick the hair.
I just stick.
No, I don't stick
I don't stick
around.
around. I just stick the hair.
You don't do it for the
I'm out
headlines.
of there. I don't do it for the headlines. I do it for the headlining. I line their heads with hair.
Hairlines.
Don't do it for the headlines, do it for the hairlines. That's
We're
probably
just
a
doing
better
word
way to say it.
associations now, and I'm concerned for all of us.
We're going to do some ink blot tests next.
Kylie Minogue.
All right, well, good luck to you.
Good luck to us all.
Good luck to you, Al. We just have one last thing to do on the show, and that's a little something called plugs.
I don't think I'm ever gonna see any project you've done recently. Unless you tell me you're a Hollywood celebrity. I'm the demographic royalty. So please react to me. Show me your plugs.
Oh, I like that a lot. That was an offering to the content gods by KevBot4000. I like that. That was almost like that band in That Thing You Do. What were they called?
The Wonders.
The Wonders. The Oniters.
The Oniters.
Yeah. Okay. Well, guys, what are we plugging? Cam and Rhea, obviously we have Take My Wife this Thursday on CISO. People can get CISO through Amazon now. Like if they have an Amazon Prime subscription.
Amazon. They can add it right on.
Xbox
They
One.
can do, Xbox, Roku. They can also go to CISO.com, and it's SEESO. I've been told I need to spell it by
Okay.
some folks that were directed to the Chicago Symphony Orchestra,
CISO.
which is CS.
Just go to thebears.com. We'll figure it out from there.
But you can check us out there. I also am going to be on a mini tour where I'm going to be in Minneapolis, Milwaukee, Indianapolis, and Oklahoma City.
When you say mini
the
tour,
end
you
of
mean
the-
Minneapolis?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
Minneapolis.
Well, the Minneapolis part is the mini tour.
When does this start?
That's August 24th. That's at the end of the month. But I would love to see some listeners there. And then I know Rhea has some stuff that's coming out that's so exciting.
Oh, thanks for throwing it to me. It's like baseball. August 19th, my album is coming out on Kill Rock Stars. It's called Butcher, and you can buy some cool T-shirts and a hat with that thing. And then also be
So
in,
that'll cover up a good 25% of your body.
Yeah, and then
what
you-
about the other 75?
Save you a lot of shaving.
got a 3/4 sleeve baseball shirt. So that's
Okay,
like
that's about
3/4.
28%.
Yeah. So working on it.
Okay,
gonna
yeah,
make some
let's get
pants
everything
soon.
else. Some
Yeah.
earmuffs, ski masks.
Oh yeah. Mustache sweater. I get it.
Sure, yeah. And that's Kill Rock Stars. That's August 19th, of course. And that's a long player.
Indeed. LP.
Is it on vinyl and CD and MP3, all of the...
Just CD and MP3.
Okay, great.
Just
All
that.
right.
Why do you think they named their record company A Command to Murder?
It's odd, isn't it?
It's
Beats
very
me.
strange.
It's
Why are they putting all the work on us?
Yeah, really. It's like if you want the rock stars killed, you're the guys with the record company
Get
that's
on it.
luring them in there.
I have no beef with the rock stars.
I enjoy most of their work.
Unless they're trying to be my competitor and they're faking rock stars' deaths.
Right. Have you ever faked a rock star's death?
Oh, yes, I have.
Which one?
This year I was very busy.
Okay, all right. I want to plug...
If you see a bald man with two different color eyes. Or a teeny tiny bald man who's just charged sexually like you can't believe.
Like he's standing in a puddle of lightning.
The chicks of cream.
I want to plug our Australia shows are coming up. So if you live in one of these cities, we're going to be out there. August 25th, Brisbane. August 26th, Sydney. August 28th, Melbourne. And August 29th, Perth. We're going to be, the Comedy Bang Bang Tour is going to be out there. That is going to be Paul F. Tompkins and Lauren Lapkus. And I'm proud to say that Mike Hanford will be joining us, opening the show and occasionally participating. So we'll be coming to all of those places. Come out and see us. I believe tickets are still on sale, but I have been told they are going fast and maybe almost sold out. And maybe sold out by the time you hear this. I hope not.
Given the way time works in Australia, maybe they haven't even been put on sale yet.
That's true. Who knows?
Or maybe the shows are over.
And what would you like to plug, Al?
Well, you mentioned Paul F. Tompkins, and I know there's one podcast that Carliford does listen to religiously, and that is Spontaneous Nation with Paul F. Tompkins.
You don't say.
I do, and I just did. I understand that he has a bunch of live shows coming up with Spontaneous Nation. In fact, this Friday he'll be in Detroit as part of the Detroit Improv Festival.
Really?
Tickets are on sale now. You can get to see Spontaneous Nation live right
Motor
there in
City.
Motor City, that's right. And also...
Don't forget the Motor City. They've talked about it, and it seems like you remember.
I've clearly included it.
Also, he does the show live once a month at Largo with the Cornet in West Hollywood, California. And the next one is going to be the first Saturday in September. That date eludes me.
Probably
I think it might be
September 3rd. Yeah.
And, of course, in November,
of course,
bringing it to the Bell House in Brooklyn for the very first time.
And as far as I know, those shows are sold out. Are they
the
not?
first show is sold out as of this recording. There are still tickets on sale for the second show, which was added because of the overwhelming response to the first show. And hopefully not only the first show.
And why are you so interested in Paul F. Tompkins? Are you faking his death?
I'd like to.
So he can get out of these shows?
Carlifer seems to be very taken with this guy.
Yeah, I think it's maybe something. Well, you want her to get attached to some other person, don't you?
I do and I don't. It's complicated, man.
Yeah, I know. All right, let's close up the old plug bag.
Gonna listen to some plugs. Gonna listen to some plugs. Gonna listen to some plugs. Gonna get my info out. Gonna get my jobs all talked about. Gonna listen to some plugs. Talk about my jobs. Some plugs. Gonna listen to some plugs.
All right, guys, thank you so much. This has been a wonderful show and just a trip down memory lane for a lot of it with me and Al about that one dinner conversation.
I think we condensed it nicely and then expanded upon it some more.
Maybe next time you come on, we can talk about other aspects of it that I want to hear. I'd love to hear every detail. If there were a film of this, like the Zapruder film or something, I would study it.
Would you like it if that was all I ever talked about? That was the entirety of what I was all about?
I might. I love that detail so much.
I bet you would.
And I hate to put the listeners through it every time, but I find new wrinkles in it.
I don't know that you do.
I know. I find new wrinkles in the telling of it every single time.
Well, let's see what happens next time. See if we don't vermouth some listeners from the
All right.
Comedy Bang Bang rolls.
Cam and Rhea, thank you so much. Good luck with Take My Wife. I cannot wait to hear what the reception is on Friday or maybe even Thursday. Hopefully people will just breeze right through it on Thursday.
Absolutely.
Hit it out of the park.
I think this was my best jokes I've ever made. We were on this podcast.
Great jokes, and you didn't even have
boy.
a
You
joke.
can barely even say
That
podcast.
sentence was touch and go.
And not in the baseball way,
No,
which
I
is
was
like you
just-
touch the bases and then you go around them. All right, we'll see you next time.
all.
Thanks, bye. Well, it's a wonderful time of year. Jason, do you have any plans this time of year? I mean, you and John Lennon ought to get together during
We
the
should,
holidays.
you know
don't
what we
think?
should do is we should go Christmas caroling together.
That would be great.
You know, walk around a neighborhood, you know, just like
Count
sing
me
the. Oh,
Wait, who's this?
hello. Who are
Who
you?
is that? Count me in.
Very handsome.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Wait, hello, sir. Can you step into the light? I can't quite tell who you are.
From the shadows.
Oh, he's got a headset mic on.
Stranger.
Wow, this is the Howard Jones, a.k.a. Michael Jackson. No, Janet Jackson, a.k.a. Justin Bieber, depending on what generation you are.
You skip Britney Spears.
Oh, sorry, Britney Spears, depending on how old you are.
The link between Janet Jackson and Justin Bieber.
Who are you, sir? I still can't tell who you are.
Well, Scott, we've met many times before.
Sure, but I can't see you, and I can't tell by your voice.
Oh, and you're wearing big sunglasses and a floppy brimmed hat.
Forgive me. It's me, Al A. Peterson, the smooth
Criminal!
Oh,
Al.A. Peterson! Have you guys met Al.A.?
I have
We
not.
have not met.
This is Jason Mantzoukas, you may know
pleasure.
from The League and The
Please.
Dictator.
Please don't be. I'm going to remove my big floppy hat and sunglasses.
Okay.
Please don't be alarmed by my appearance.
It's almost like you were faking your death with that hat.
Well, wouldn't be the first time.
Sure, I know that.
As you can see, I am completely hairless.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
wait.
You don't need to show us everything.
Like the alien on Fringe.
Yeah, put some of that back.
A fashion icon for me, personally.
This is, of course, intern Gino over here, Gino Lombardo. This is
I've
Al.A.
never met
Peterson.
Smooth Criminal. I've seen the song, I've seen the lean, but I've never seen.
Yeah, do you do
person.
the lean from the video as well?
What video?
The Michael Jackson video. You know Michael Jackson, Janet's
I mean, I know who
brother.
Michael Jackson is or
Sure.
was.
He had a song called Smooth Criminal.
Did he really?
He did Alien Ant Farm, famously covered it.
It wasn't the other way around.
AAF
That's like-
covered a Michael Jackson song?
I genuinely feel like that's another band you are like going to try and convince
Nope.
me is good.
Nope. I like that one song. Maybe movies.
See?
All right.
Well, now I'm called the Smooth Criminal, of course, because
course.
I'm completely hairless and I'm wanted by the law.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Hence the disguise.
So you've never heard the song before.
I've never heard the song, but it sounds like it's right up my alley.
Okay, what about Dirty Diana? You ever hear that?
Love it.
Okay, it's the same album, I believe.
Oh, I guess I didn't listen all the way through.
Okay, you turned it
I
off.
skipped around.
Okay, okay.
Shuffle will fuck you that way. You miss a big single that way.
But speaking,
What I would do was I had it on vinyl, and I would just do a random needle drop, just see where the album took.
in the middle of songs or after when songs were finished?
I have an uncanny ability to get it right on the track.
Wow. Speaking of right on the track, this is John Lennon, L.A. Peterson.
Hello.
Like the singer John Lennon?
Well, I was a guitar player. Who sang?
Wait a minute. From the European rock band The Beatles?
That's right. Oh, you've probably heard some of my work.
Now, hold on a second. I feel like you're working my side of the street. Did you fake your own death, sir?
No. We went over this just a moment ago. I was dead.
No need to
you
catch me up.
But just in case somebody
I'll intuit it
just
for
in
context
case
clues.
a listener has just dropped the needle at this point in the podcast, we will repeat John Lennon's history.
We should
Shout
do
out
that
to
throughout the show. Everyone repeat what they was just doing.
Anytime someone new comes in, let's keep on
let's
track.
back up to the beginning.
Just for those
Even
who
if they
might
have vital information they're trying to get out, let's make sure that we catch everyone up.
And let's scream at them, all at once.
And this is for our listeners who are listening to the podcast on vinyl.
But,
That's
you know,
right.
I do have to say, this begs the question. Some may say even raises the question.
Some should say
I
that.
think we should probably just use braises.
Braises, yes, finally.
This red wine
it's like,
braises
It's
the
like brunch
question.
and broasting.
This broasts the question.
Remember when broasting came out in like the early 80s? Everyone was so excited. Roasted chicken?
It's an ancient cooking art form.
Sure, but I mean, it was repopularized, one might say, back in the 1980s.
I think because of the show Moonlighting.
Probably.
There were a lot of broasting going on Moonlighting. Will they, won't they? Why do they keep roasting?
Moonlighting, or depending on what generation you are, it would be.
No, moonlighting is the relevant reference, right?
Or are you going to bring us down the moonlighting hierarchy of
I was trying to think what the moonlighting
ancestors? Yeah.
hierarchy actually is. Cheers. Moonlighting to Cheers to... Girls? Yeah, that's it.
I don't know what we're doing.
Moonlighting. We're doing what we did with Bieber, from Bieber to...
Oh, I see.
I was even lost then.
I got very lost.
But this does roast the question,
Right.
Do people think that you faked your death?
Because
We've
I'm-
never talked about
I'm
that.
certainly thinking that.
I mostly, some people ask me that. And I'll say, how dare you?
Okay.
Do
will
you think
pull-
I would trick the American public or the European public? And, I'll say fuck you to that person.
What?
Right.
Wow.
And shove
Just
them.
like CeeLo?
I'll
Shove them?
I'll shove them onto the ground and I'll walk away.
What about the African public?
Well, them too.
Asian public.
Australian?
They're very
I
private.
think they're a little behind on the news.
Antarctic public?
But that's right. The world public.
Wow.
Could have saved yourself some time.
No, I would never fake my death.
You would never do it.
Never.
But why'd you fake yours?
To get out of a long-term relationship.
Oh, smart.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. Who was this? Or was her name Dirty Diana? I can't
Her
remember.
name was
what-
not Dirty Diana. Were you...
That's your
for
guess?
a moment, were you under the impression her name was Dirty Diana?
I thought it might be. I hoped it might be in
Her
order
name
to
of-
really have cohesion.
Her name, of course, was Carlifer.
Oh,
which
Carlifer,
was a
that's right.
Clumsy portmanteau of her father and mother's names.
I remember, this is my favorite part of the story, that you told her father that.
I told it to his face. He respected me for it.
Right. You'd had
Her
a few
father was
drinks.
Well, no. Her mother had several drinks.
Right.
Her mother, Jennifer, is a terrible drunk.
Terrible drunk.
Yeah.
Right. So you were
Gets
stone cold
drunk on
sober?
vermouth. I was stone cold sober.
Vermouth is a bad hangover,
It takes
by the way.
it's a terrible hangover.
Yeah. So now you were stone cold sober, and her father. How do you describe her father?
Well, he was a
Oh my
sniveling.
God.
He's a sniveling worm. He's a spineless weakling. Now,
I
I have told this story literally every time we've met.
And I love it.
I was at dinner at my girlfriend's parents' house, and
Was she there too?
yes, she was there too.
So was the foreign.
Yeah, she'd invited me.
When is this? Like
This was deep into the relationship. by the
Okay.
way, as
Yeah,
I
we'd been-
recall.
we'd been dating since college, and we'd been together for quite some time. And this was probably not long before I decided to fake my own death to get out of the relationship. I got cold feet, and we were at dinner at her parents' house. Her mother Jennifer in the kitchen, pretending to work on a roast, but secretly drinking her third bottle of vermouth. Carlifer was upstairs in the bedroom, making herself presentable for dinner.
So
It was just me.
it takes a while because third bottle of vermouth.
No,
Well,
that's
it depends
the mother.
Depends how quickly you drink.
That's true. I mean, she may have started quite late into the.
If she takes a while to get ready, that could be why you thought her name was Dirty Diana, because she's got to clean it all off.
That's
and all
true.
that
That's a good
jazz.
point. Yeah.
Was
All that
Dirty-
jazz,
in
it
the-
could have been Roy
In the
Scheider.
song, was Dirty Diana literally covered in dirt?
I believe, right? She had like bugs buzzing around her like a Peanuts cartoon.
Like, oh, this is a real song.
Pen.
Wait. Like a Peanuts cartoon? You think that the actual cartoons have flies buzzing around them?
Yeah, you know when you watch TV and then that one character comes out and the flies are attracted to it, like
Sure.
the ring? Yeah.
Sure, but I thought you meant when you opened the Sunday paper that flies came out and were buzzing around the actual cartoon.
Yeah, that's
You
also the
think,
case.
you think the Peanuts cartoon is giving off flies?
some sort of stench.
I
or
do
odor.
only read the newspaper from the bottom of my dad's bird cage, so that could be the reason why there's flies there. There's also bird shit on far side. Which works. It works right in the
for
lawsuit.
most of the
How old are
cartoons.
these newspapers?
These are, I mean, who has modern newspapers? It's all iPads now.
That's true.
You get an iPad on the front
all
step
iPads.
every morning.
So Carlifer was getting ready, and
That's
what
right.
happened?
And I was in the living room with her father, Carl. Mm-hmm. And I asked him the origin of Carlifer's name, and he told me. And I was shaking his head.
Right.
I looked him straight in the eye and I said, I find that to be a clumsy portmanteau. And he thanked me.
He thanked you.
Wow.
And what's odd to me was this is pretty deep into the relationship, as I recall, in our previous conversation. And this is the first time you ever thought to ask about the origins of her name.
I'd asked Carlifer, of course, but I wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Did she have a nickname? Carlifer is clumsy. I agree.
Now, we've talked about this before.
Okay.
She insisted on being called Carlifer every single time.
I hate
Out of
that
respect
shit.
for her parents. She hated her own name, but she loved her
She
parents so
respected
much.
her parents.
Even
yeah.
if you were to say, hey, baby, or hey, honey,
Nope. No pet names with Carlifer.
no bad name.
I hate people who don't
Carlifer
go for
bust.
nicknames like Davids and Jonathans. You know, I like a fuck. You got to shorten. You got to be called Dave every once in a while.
You have to in this economy.
In
What's
this-
Gino short for?
Giovanni.
Giovanni.
They shortened it at.
Like the famous opera Don Giovanni.
Yes, they shortened my name at Ellis Island when I went there for a field trip.
Is John Lennon short for Jonathan? I don't know that we've ever discussed this.
It is. It's John. Sorry, I feel like I had to yell that.
I feel like you're on your third bottle of vermouth. What is happening?
I'm on my third bottle of the year, that's for sure.
Well, you're an older man. You're getting perhaps a bit hard of hearing, and so you don't realize how loud your own
That's
voice
right. You're
is.
70 some odd years old and wearing a scarf.
A very tightly knotted scarf. Is it too loud again? Maybe I'll turn on my headphones
I
and see
may
what
have
you're
turned
doing.
myself
No, it
up
doesn't
too
have
loud
to.
so I could hear my own voice.
Yeah, it doesn't have to do with
I'm
your
sorry.
headphone levels, guys. That's
No, because
You know
I
what?
can't hear
Let's
myself.
all jack up these headphone levels.
it has to do with
Let's-
his
let's have
actual
that be-
It's
shouting
because
into
I
the
can't
mic.
hear it, so I'm yelling so I can hear it. in my
Let's have
headphones.
that be a part of this. Just keep increasing the levels until we're all screaming.
Are we supposed to have headphones on?
That's
Is that how you check the levels?
They don't have to be on your
Gino, this has been years you've been working for me. You've
Gino-
never been wearing headphones?
I've just been eyeballing it.
eyeballing it from what?
From, just looking at how close you are to the mic, how loud your voice is, if Brett is wincing or not. I kind of.
You've just been looking at Engineer Brett's whinging.
I've been locked into Brett's alt-right haircut for the last, half hour.
It's not all right. We can't call it all right.
All right.
Call it white supremacy.
All right, Brett is a white supremacist. Copy that.
Scott, I know you got a lot going on. Can
Sure.
I get this one premise out?
Yes,
and then-
please. Yeah, of course.
I mean, it's only fair. It's minute 16.
God, has it not even been 17 minutes yet?
Because it's the holidays.
Sure.
And because my expertise is trickery, helping people fake their own deaths and start a new life somewhere, I thought I would try to use my talents, such as they are, for good this holiday season.
Are you
So-
taking them down to?
South Beach? Among other places. What I would like to do is help parents fake being Santa Claus in their own homes so that the children don't catch on that Santa Claus is, of course, a lie that we tell them.
Interesting. Okay, so now up till now, you've been helping people fake their own deaths, meaning
right.
you've been asking them to shave all of their hair off.
They shave their entire bodies,
Right.
except for their anuses.
Right. That's
I
right.
give them a new
I forgot about that
passport.
detail.
That's so they can retain some part of their own
semblance of
identity.
dignity. Yes.
Not dignity. I don't know if I'd call it dignity.
Has anyone ever left a stray anus hair at the scene of the crime, and that's
Do you really want to know the answer to that?
Traced the DNA is traced.
You
the
mean as a
fact.
calling card? Like
Sure.
the Riddler?
Yeah, wait, the Riddler. Do we have that theme song?
I'm working on it, Scott. Hold on. All right.
Oh, I gotta hear that for the
Gino,
holidays.
Gino, you're just flipping
this
through
is
a
a good
People
song.
magazine.
Turn it up.
It's in
Turn
here
it up.
somewhere.
Gino,
Riddler.
That was a good song.
All right. Wow.
Glad we were able to find out.
Worth it.
Nice.
Fade out on the tags.
Much worth it.
Did you get your premise out?
I think I did.
No, but okay. So tell us about the
I
details.
just have one tiny elaboration and then we're done.
And then here's the great news. The great news is if anybody else drops by, we're going to get all of it up. We're going to have to re-explain it all.
Right.
In our
If anyone else drops by. which-
Comedy Bang Bang holiday episode character recaps for every new member.
If we have time, because of course we'll have to re-explain John Lennon every second.
Yeah, absolutely, as well as Gino Vanni.
And I want to talk over you a little bit, Gino. and
Oh,
then
that's fine.
Cut you short, Scott. For a
Talking
minute.
at a normal level.
I know, because I turned my headphones on.
All right. So how do you do this, Al?
Well, basically what it is the danger is that the children they're so excited on Christmas Eve they can't sleep, and they want to catch Santa in the act. This has been true of children for as long as Santa Claus has been an idea.
Most of them, though, go to sleep. Do they not? I mean,
Well, they can't help it. They're weak.
Yes.
Children are weak.
much like your father-in-law.
I thought of him as a big child that I could
Push around.
demean to his face, push him
Sure,
around,
yeah.
and he thanked me for it, which it turns out that's exactly what happened.
I found the Riddler song.
Gino, we already listened to it.
I
Listen
gotta
to
get
it twice.
headphones. I gotta get headphones.
So they all want to stay awake. They all want to catch Santa.
Yes, they want to catch Santa. So if this is the case, what happens is I will provide the parent with a Santa Claus costume. But in order for them to don the costume and truly create the illusion that they are this other person, not their parent, they have to remove all of the hair on their body.
All of the hair from their body.
Okay.
I've got a question.
That shave their bodies, heads, eyebrows.
That would be very traumatic for a child to
To
see.
see a bald, eyebrowless Santa.
Or a bald, eyebrowless parent the next day.
No, you misunderstand. Of course, they'll have the Santa costume on, and so Santa won't be hairless. But underneath, the parent will be hairless. The next day, of course.
Yeah.
I thought about that.
Okay.
I will provide the parents with a wig made from their own hair.
Oh.
Interesting.
How do you get
How?
it done
That's,
so
that's
soon?
very quick.
That's the thing.
Quick
That turnaround.
That's on me, and that's where I have to pull off a Santa Claus-like miracle. It depends on how many people are opting
Now, what
for
if
the
someone
service.
wants to catch you
Putting together the
putting
wig.
together the Christmas
Are there
miracle
any
of
kids
making
who
all the
want
wigs?
to catch you doing that?
Well, I do.
How do you
help?
How do you
we'll
fake
do this
that?
in an abandoned warehouse, and there's a bunch of kids around.
That's not
I'm
abandoned
just gonna
at
have
all.
to. I'm gonna have to gamble.
You said, just say it. Fuck you. I saw the lip curling into an F.
Now look, I'm no Carl that you can push around.
Hey, you're
Watch
pushing
out,
me
John.
around.
That's-
I don't much like
I'll
it.
give you 2 fingers in the
Hey,
chest.
hey.
Thank him. Thank him.
Thank you very much.
What a spineless worm John Lennon is.
Sniveling coward.
I've got a cold, that's why I'm sniffling.
You're also sniffling, I believe.
I thought that's what you meant. Ooh.
Well,
just
Santa
got-
won't be hairless. That's my favorite Christmas song.
Santa won't be here.
Santa won't be hairless
this year. Ding, 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 ding. You notice how every Christmas song has jingle bells in it somewhere? Ding, ding. Because
It's the greatest song ever written.
such a great song. Ding, 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 ding.
It's the Rosetta Stone of
music.
Of music, yeah.
It just
Everything
varies
comes from
one
there.
note. Yeah.
That was
that an inspiration for a lot of Beatles songs?
Yes, it was. I remember we were sitting there thinking up, She Loves You, Yeah, Yeah, Yeah. And we were thinking, well, we make it a Christmas song. It's the middle of the summertime when
Yep.
we were writing it.
Sure.
You know that famous story. We were out by the pool.
Of course.
Sure.
Writing
Please,
that song.
please, but tell it, please.
So I was out by the pool thinking of songs to write for Christmas, and I'm wearing the shortest shorts you've ever seen.
How short? I mean, I've seen some
Very
short
I've
shorts.
seen very short shorts.
They went from my chest to the top of my thighs.
So,
Okay, so they were long.
They were long.
Technically,
They were more like torso covering.
I guess you're
more
right.
like-
It's like an
But now-
old timey bathing suit.
Hold on a second, though. The length of the shorts, when we think of short shorts, it's how short they are on the leg.
Is that-
These were so short, they went up
technically,
to the abdomen.
These are
So wait, these did not even cover your.
This is more of a girdle, it sounds like.
Yeah, you can't call a girdle
Like
short
a
shorts.
swim girdle.
Had you just gained some weight?
I call a hat the shortest shorts of all,
Wait, what?
and socks long shorts.
Okay, so wait.
Just because they're
now I
down
get it.
so far down on your body?
Right. See,
Okay.
shorts
We
are the
should-
Rosetta Stone of fashion for me.
Okay. All right.
Let's not recap this.
Yeah,
with
let's not
any- for
recap this
anybody.
part of it. Look,
When future guests come in, we'll leave this part out.
we have to take a break. Al, good luck with your business. Have you been getting a lot of traction, or?
Tons,
Okay, good. Sounds like more than 2,000 pounds worth.
if you like.
Sure. Okay. We need to take a break. When we come back, some people may stick around, some people may leave. Gino, you better be here the entire time. That's all
I'm
I have to
sticking
say.
around. I've got literally nothing to do.
Okay. I've heard that before. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll have more Comedy Bang Bang after this. We have a lot of special guests, and none more special than our first guest. He is... Well, he has a very interesting business. He's an entrepreneur, I guess, is one way to talk about him. He has a nickname in his business. He is known as the Smooth Criminal. Please welcome Al A. Peterson. Al, how are you?
Scott, thank you for having me on the show. What a pleasure it is to be in a new city.
That's right. I have seen you in 2 cities, perhaps.
Probably.
Let's count them down. Obviously, Los Angeles, California, where we tape the show.
Number 2. Counting down to number 1.
Number 1, I believe we met in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, wrong.
Ooh.
That is incorrect, although I have been to Philadelphia.
Have you?
I've been to every city in the continental United States.
Every city.
Every city.
That seems impossible almost.
Doesn't it?
How many cities are there?
How many cities are there worldwide?
Well, in the continental U.S., we tried to figure this out at one point. I guesstimated there's probably 500.
It's 502.
So not bad. I did it without going over.
You were very exactly. So by Price is Right rules, you would have won.
Yes. So you have been to all these cities. So how can we ascertain the one that we met in?
Well, let's count them down.
From 502?
That's right.
Okay.
Tucson, Arizona. Go. We'll switch off.
Lodi, California.
Tampa, Florida.
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Good one.
I believe we're at 498 at this point.
I was going to say that 4 away from now, but you beat me to it. I want to say St. Louis, Missouri.
Correct. That is a city.
That's right.
Is that what we're playing right now? I can't figure it out.
The game is over. And the real winners are the American people, because what a great big country this is, and how lucky we are to live in it.
That's right. This country is 3,000 miles wide.
Sure.
Where do you hail from originally, by the way? I don't...
Well, you know, I'm reluctant to say because, of course, I am a criminal. That is my business. They call me the smooth criminal because I am completely hairless. As you can see, I have very crudely drawn on eyebrows.
Why so crude with the drawing, by the way?
It's one of those things where I forget to do it, and then just as I'm about to leave the house, I say, "Oh, right, eyebrows," and I just scribble them on. And
I have to say, they're shaped sort of like Charlie Brown's shirt.
yes. Well, because this time I had to do it in ballpoint, and usually I have one of those big fat Sharpies, and I could just too quick.
Just
eyebrow. Well, I thought my sound effect was sufficient, but you're the entertainer. I'm merely a criminal.
Why not get them tattooed upon your face? I mean, that would be a permanent solution.
Well, because it's my quest to get them just right.
And only you can be in charge of that.
That's exactly right. We each of us have our own tasks before us, some set by life, some set by ourselves, some set by Almighty God. But the ones set by ourselves, we must accomplish. Because that is wherein we find the truest metal of ourselves.
That is beautiful.
No, I know. I know that it is.
Is that something you say a lot because it was so rehearsed and polished?
It's from a poem I memorized at school.
So it's from the poem, so you memorized the whole poem, so let's hear the rest.
Sure. Where did I leave off?
Ourselves.
Ourselves. For if you can be the one, smiling while others frown, if you can frown while others cry, and cry while others lose their shit, won't you be the one to look better than all the rest? The best around? Where nothing truly is ever going to keep you down. One pill makes you bigger. But I took the pill less taken. And that has made all the difference. Love, Anonymous. Thank you. It's one of the few signed poems.
Yeah, usually that's up at the top.
Most poets put their name at the top, but
yeah,
this was a poet who wished to remain nameless, but
still wanted to sign it.
That's exactly right. Anyway, I'm a criminal. My job is I help people fake their own deaths. As I faked mine, I, of course, faked alopecia to get out of a long-term relationship.
And the name of the the name of the person with whom you were in a relationship.
That's right.
Was
my college girlfriend.
Yes.
Her name is Carlifer. It's a clumsy portmanteau of her parents' two first names, Carl and Jennifer.
Right. And as I recall,
yes,
you had a conversation about that with her father once.
Well, I told her father to his face that I thought it was a clumsy portmanteau. I feel as... Have I not told you this story?
It's ringing a bell, but I'd love to hear it again.
Well, forgive me if you've heard this before, but Carla and I were college sweethearts, and things were getting... things were getting serious. She invited me to her parents' home for dinner. Now, her father, you understand, Carl, it's a sniveling worm. He's spineless. Carlifer's mother, Jennifer, of course, is a vermouth drunk. At the time, she was in the kitchen, probably on her 8th bottle of vermouth, because it takes a lot of vermouth to get you drunk.
It takes a village.
What did you say?
It takes a village.
To do what?
Of vermouth to get drunk.
I feel as if that's not as direct as saying it takes 8 bottles of vermouth to get you drunk.
I like to imagine the vermouth bottles as like tiny buildings.
And having
in
a little
village.
government.
Yes. Mayor McVermouth.
And he's a bottle of vermouth with a tinier bottle of vermouth for a head.
Yes.
So she's in there, drunk. I'm in the living room with Carl. And I could tell just by looking at him. I sized him up instantly. He's a weakling.
Now, this is the... I have heard this story before, but a few details I'm sort of forgetting.
Such as?
This is the first time you'd ever met him before? You hadn't had the opportunity to size him up previously.
Well, what did I tell you before?
That I cannot remember, whether this was
Well,
the
then
first...
I probably told you that it was our first meeting because, of course, it was. And that is canon. So I size him up. I think to myself, this man, he needs to know who's in charge here. If I'm going to be in Carlifer's life, which I imagined at the time I always would be, it would be years later that I would develop cold feet and seek a way out of the relationship by banking on what I thought was Carlifer's very shallow nature. Surely once I revealed to her I had alopecia, she would leave me, but it only made her love me all the more. And so I ran from her, stealing her favorite hoodie. That's not part of this story, though. I looked at Carl, knowing him to be lesser than me. He stood up from his well-worn easy chair to shake my hand. I noticed I was a good deal taller than him. And as I shook his hand, I used leverage to force him into a sitting position on the chair. All while looking him dead in the eye and saying, I think the name Carlifer is a clumsy portmanteau.
Wow.
That's not the entire story, though. Of course, the end of the story is he thanked me.
That's the part I always forget. He thanked you for it. While he was in the chair?
Yes.
And that's a detail that I'd never heard before, that you forced him down into
I'm sure
that.
I've mentioned that.
That you sort of Stallone over the topped him.
Yes.
Wow. Amazing.
I turned my baseball cap around backwards.
Sure. That's how you know an arm wrestler is serious.
That's right.
But one would think that the bill, you could like sort of, literally like a bill like a duck would do.
Well, they had a terrible old chandelier, and it was clouding my eyes. I wanted Carl to be able to see the intent in my eyes when I assured him that I was more of a man than he would ever be, and that I was having sexual relations with his daughter.
That's how he found out about this?
Through my eyes, yes.
Wow.
He saw it all. And I saw him see it all.
Wow. Did he see you seeing him seeing it all?
I think you've answered your own question.
But that's a little bit of background for people who don't know
Just
you.
a little bit of background if you don't know who I am.
I always enjoy hearing
That's me,
it.
I guess.
You are the smooth criminal. Of course, you help people fake their own deaths because you have such experience with that.
Yes.
And what are you doing in New York?
Well, it's a bit of business and pleasure.
Okay.
The pleasure is I took in a Broadway play this afternoon.
What did you see?
I almost said Steam, but it's called Sweat.
Wait, you were at Sweat too?
Were you there?
I was there this afternoon, yeah.
Yes. Well, I was there with my new girlfriend. She's an older lady. One of her great joys is the theater, and we went to see this new play, and she had a great time.
Great.
Yes.
Well, that's wonderful.
It was wonderful.
Where were you sitting? I don't.
We were sitting.
recall
We had
seeing
orchestra
you.
seats. Can't remember the row, but we were kind of right there in the middle.
Oh, I was sort of in the middle too. Yeah.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, just slightly off to the middle because the people sitting next to me were dead set in the middle.
I see. I feel as if I have a good mental picture of where you were sitting in the theater.
I have the sort of fuzzy picture, but yeah, well, great.
You have a fuzzy picture of where you were in this building?
Slightly fucked up while I was watching.
What do you mean? You were drunk?
The other stuff. This woman that you're dating.
Yes.
What does she look like? Maybe I saw her while she was there. I don't know why I didn't see you. That's interesting.
Well, I make it my business not to be seen. The way I work it with my lady friend when we go to the theater is I will wait until the lights are just going down, and then I take my seat. I work it all out with the ushers beforehand. I say,
Really?
listen, you're going to want to keep me out, but I'm going to stand right here until it's just about time to not let anyone in anymore. That's when you let me in. And of course, I grease their palms.
And how early do you come to the theater to make sure that this happens?
3 hours before the show. What I'll do is, if I get word that a show is going well, I'll have myself mailed to the theater so I can be in the building. Then when everyone goes home, I let myself out. I acquaint myself with all the surroundings.
All the sort of secret passageways.
Exactly. The catwalks, trapdoors.
Almost like an ersatz Phantom of the Opera.
If you like. Although once people arrive, I leave.
Sure.
I, of course, build a tunnel in every theater. That's where theaters get their tunnels. If you weren't aware, it's criminals who have mailed themselves to the theater and need to leave before people arrive without being seen. That's
I had no
paramount.
idea. So there are tunnels from every theater to every other Broadway theater? So they're all connected?
No, it's the tunnel's just to get out of the theater. It's not to get into another theater.
Okay, I that's what I thought was
Why
happening.
would they need to be connected?
Well, in case, you wanted to go appear in Hamilton or something.
Appear in it? I'm not an actor. I'm not a performer of any kind. I just like to go to the theater, that's all.
Okay. I was confused then.
If I wanted to be in Hamilton, I'd probably just audition. I don't think I would mail myself to the theater, build a tunnel from another play.
Have you prepared a Hamilton audition?
Well, of course I have.
I would love to see it. Is it in... Obviously, Hamilton is the hip-hop musical. So we'll probably need to hear that hip-hop theme if we could. Do you want to be turned up in the monitors at all?
No, this is fine. This is a rap by one of my favorite rap artists. He's a founding member of the Sugar Hill Gang. His name is Cal Solomon.
Oh, I know Cal, yeah.
Do you really?
I do know Cal,
Not a lot of people know him. He's a somewhat obscure artist.
Yeah.
But this is one of his raps. He doesn't even have any albums released, but I forget where I heard this. I heard it on some form of recording. But it's a rap about pizza.
I would love to hear it. This is L.A. Peterson with the pizza rap.
Have you ever gone over a friend's house to eat and the food just ain't no good? I mean, they've made a pizza, but it's not the kind you like. It's a deep dish and it's the square, and then you're not sure if it's the end piece is the best piece or if you want a piece from the middle, if it follows the brownie principle. And even worse, they've put nuts in the pizza. That's how bad this is. It's a pizza with walnuts in it. And I'm sorry. I feel like I'm losing the beat and I'm getting off track. Let me start again. Pizza rap by Cal Solomon. Have you ever gone over a friend's house for pizza and the pizza's less than ideal quality? I mean, you thought this was going to be a pizza delivery service, or maybe it was even going to be homemade pizza, which is the best but very hard to get right. But then it turns out it's a delivery pizza that, not a delivery pizza, but the one that says it's delivery, that it tastes like, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm doing a bad job of rapping right now. Thank you. I think Cal Solomon is a visionary hip-hop artist.
That's him messing up, not you. I mean, that was word for word.
That was verbatim. He doesn't follow what I think he's what makes him so innovative is he doesn't follow the traditional rules of rhyming in hip-hop music.
Or keeping to a beat.
Yes, exactly. He's sort of carved out his own niche of truly free-form rap styling.
Free of any form. Even sense.
There's zero form. It almost seems as if he's just talking and he's getting very self-conscious.
It's like the ramblings of a madman.
Or is it a very shrewd bit of poetry?
You're the poetry student. I'll let you decide.
Have we talked about this?
Yeah, I believe we
Yes,
have.
I'm a student of poetry. I memorized a poem in school, of course, but then later as an adult, I became very fond of the works of various poets.
Various poets.
That's right.
You don't say. One has to ask, who is your favorite poet?
Oh, let's see. Favorite poet. I mean, there are many types of poetry that I enjoy. There's, of course, the poet of the road.
Like Jack Kerouac?
Who's that?
Who's the poet of the road that you're talking about?
The late, great Roger Miller.
The king of the road.
You're familiar with this poem?
That's a song. King of the road, dun, dun, dun.
I don't know what you're doing.
Have you heard these poems, or have you only read them?
You read poems. I've read this poem.
Can I ask, are you often on GoogleLyrics.com?
It's my homepage.
These are not poems, they're songs.
Well, you're saying the website Google Lyrics, which is, as far as I'm concerned, the largest poetry clearinghouse. It's your one-stop poetry shopping. If you're looking for poems, there they are. And it's a beautiful name, Google Lyrics. Like that's poetry in itself.
Sure. No, these. What Google does is they take.
Do you know this Google personally?
Google's not a person; it's a conglomerate. It's very hard to explain. It's a computer.
It's not a person named Google Lyric.
It's not a person named Google nor Lyric nor a combination therein.
This is fascinating.
Is it? Because I feel like we should have gotten off on the song.
We probably should have. Did I ask you to ask me more questions? Is that what happened?
I don't know. Look, let's not play the blame game, because we're both going to lose.
Although it is the first rule in a crisis, assign blame.
Right.
So that was the pleasure, was seeing that play. Remember that when we talked about that?
Oh, the play, yes. Was your girlfriend sitting next to me?
She was.
Okay. I thought so. All right, well...
you got to hear one of her signature wrap-ups.
She likes to do these wrap-ups?
She does those wrap-ups for everything.
For TV shows, books?
Yes, that's how I know when she's done reading a magazine article.
Video games, when she gets to the end?
Yes, video games. Me and my elderly girlfriend are often playing video games.
Sounds fun. How long have you been seeing her?
2 weeks.
Okay. Great. Well, good luck with that. I hope you certainly don't fake your death with her.
Well, I probably will.
Will you keep your name L.A. Peterson, though? Because...
That's who I am. But is that my true name, or is it my criminal nom de plume?
Is it your true name?
Yes.
Oh, great. All right, well, Al, can you stick around? We have a lot of guests to get to.
Well, I am on the run, but I suppose I can hang out for longer than an hour.
Great. L.A. Peterson, everyone.
But I've always wanted to know, what is your middle name?
My middle name?
Mm-hmm.
Are you
is everything
okay?
Wait, I think our next guest is trying to get our attention somehow.
What is happening?
I'm in fact doing the opposite. I'm trying not to get your attention.
Well, you failed.
You failed. Low five.
I do apologize.
Low five, please.
I cannot low five you. I'm sorry.
Really? John, you and I are going to have to. Okay, there we go.
Thanks, Scott.
So I'm having a bit
Thanks
of
for
trouble
not
with this.
leaving anyone hanging.
Bit of trouble with this chair. I apologize.
What is going on over there?
It's leaning back despite my will.
Well, are you okay? Are you going to be all right?
I'm fine. It's just a little uncomfortable.
Well, we may as well introduce you.
You may as well.
I'm not sure if you know John Hamm here. If you've
I
ever
don't know
met,
if we've met.
No, I don't believe we've met, sir.
This is he's been on the show several times.
Yes, I have.
He's more commonly known as the Smooth Criminal, but his
correct.
Christian name is L.A. Peterson.
Or is it?
Oh, that's right. You may have changed it.
I may have. Because I am a criminal. That's why I'm the smooth criminal. And
It
of
doesn't
course,
sound that smooth if you're introducing yourself such.
well, there's more to the story.
Fair enough.
Do criminals really introduce themselves as criminals?
Exactly.
Or do they try to get away with it by saying, I'm just a businessman?
I'm a gentleman criminal, I guess you could say, because I admit that I am a criminal.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Wanted by
You're
the law.
honest. You're
Yes.
honest until you commit crimes.
That's right. Well, even my crimes are not. Well, no, they're pretty dishonest.
You're sort of an anti-hero, in a way.
I like that. Let's say I am.
Okay.
And of course, the smooth part is that my body is entirely hairless.
Oh, unexpected.
Yeah,
I thought
did
it was that mellifluous voice.
Oh, that's just a side effect.
That's a byproduct of the
hairless
shaving?
body?
You should have heard me before.
Really? Could you
Raspy.
do an impression of yourself? Possibly?
I could try. I mean,
Okay, let's hear, yeah.
It's been a long time. Hey, guys.
Oh, no, we couldn't have.
Al.
Smooth criminal.
Al.
No.
Al.
What?
I much prefer.
Please, we much prefer your
right.
smooth voice.
That's,
Yes.
that's much better. Now, speaking of
That hurt my
Al,
throat.
Al's middle name starts with A.
That's true. And your middle name starts with
D.
A? Starts with D.
Yes.
Okay, so like the
My middle name
after
is
death.
My middle name is
Anno
my middle
Domini.
name Anno Domini. My middle name is Daniel.
Daniel.
Al, your middle name?
Should I tell? I've never divulged it.
Yeah,
before.
we've never spoken about this.
I mean, I
That
feel
seems
like
like
we're
a question
on the
that would.
topic. It just seems like
Yeah.
it might be nice.
Well, all right. I hope this won't lead to my getting caught by the authority.
I think that Al and the
please don't let it
Peterson
be.
would far.
You think my
Authorities.
first and last name are probably more?
Yes, it's probably more of the clues. I don't think it's going to tip the scale.
All right, if you must know, Amadeus.
Amadeus.
Rock me.
And by the way, this is not your Christian name. You chose this
It
one,
may or may not be.
right? We'll get to that in a second.
My middle name is real, though. I was named after Saint Amadeus.
Oh, okay.
I took that as my confirmation name.
Let's talk about, for those of you who have not heard Al before, he's been on the show several times. You are
Yes,
the
I have.
smooth criminal,
That's right.
and you have a business. Explain your business as briefly as possible.
Al, you're from Florida, correct?
Oh, that's not correct.
No, that you may be
Nice
thinking.
try.
I'm just trying to nail you down regionally.
Oh, I bet you are.
I must be thinking of someone else.
I believe you're thinking of our good friend J.W. Stillwater.
That's exactly.
Uh-oh, the crime fighter.
Yeah, he is.
The amateur crime fighter, J.W. Stillwater.
Is he on the lookout for you?
I was going to
He
say.
probably is. I am a wanted criminal.
Sounds like a rivalry.
He sounds like rival.
He sounds like rival.
Low five, John, for that.
Sorry.
You're doing a lot more low five since the last time I seen you.
Well, we just started it probably at the beginning of the show. So, Al, tell us about your business.
You want me to nutshell it for you?
Nutshell, please.
I help people fake their own deaths.
Right. And the process.
Oh, you want to hear more?
Yeah. I mean, that's good enough.
I thought you wanted. I was under the instructions to explain it very briefly.
Slightly more information. The process by which you do this.
I have people shave their entire body, and then I furnish them with a new passport.
You furnish them
furnish them with
a new passport.
Yes.
Furnish?
Yes.
Okay.
What's the problem?
Well, it just seems like maybe you. I don't know. Is that furniture?
I think you could use the word furnish.
Fair
without
enough. All right.
taking
But
the
it's interesting that
David Furnish certainly has.
furniture sort of co-opted it, though.
Do you think when David Furnish walks into a room, he says, "This room is now furnished"?
I think he absolutely does. You've been furnished.
It is interesting that furniture co-opted the word furnish. It's not like you call furniture like give, you know.
I want to go down this road.
Okay, let's go down the
Scott,
road.
I'm going to need a low five on that.
Okay, here we go. Let's go down the road of your business, though. You shave people.
I shave people's entire bodies.
Why is the shaving?
It's to change your identity. That's what I did.
Right.
I faked alopecia to get out of a long-term relationship.
You were in a relationship with a woman. What was her name?
Carlifer.
Carlifer. And she, you did not want to be in this relationship. And what was the main reason?
I got cold feet. We were together for a long time. We were college sweethearts.
Right.
And things got serious. It was time to either get
Put up or
married-
shut up.
Put up or shut
Yeah,
up.
put up
as
or
they
shut
say.
up. Mm-hmm. And I chose to shut up in the form of shaving my entire body, telling her I had alopecia, hoping that she would be too shallow to continue the relationship. She surprised me by being a better person than I even imagined. And I disappeared.
Right.
Taking with me.
She
her
was
favorite
ready
hoodie.
she was ready to accept you as a
As a
hairless.
propitiated man.
Of course she was. Carlifer's a living saint.
Yes. And then you disappeared with her favorite hoodie.
Yes.
And she's been searching for you ever since.
That's right.
Due to love or the hoodie? Have we ever found that out?
I guess I'll find out when we finally meet up.
She's sort of like your one-armed man, but does she have both arms?
I'm sort of her one-armed man. The
Is that
one-armed
true?
man didn't chase the fugitive.
I thought that he was chasing the fugitive.
Wait, he was the fugitive. He was on the run.
Fugitive was running from everyone except for one person.
The fugitive was running from the detective.
Why didn't they call the one-armed man the also fugitive? Because he's running from the fugitive.
He wasn't a fugitive from justice.
But
He
you
was
want,
a
much
criminal.
like furniture, one can be a fugitive.
Here's the thing. The fugitive was chasing the one-armed man to prove his innocence.
Oh.
Because he had seen
Yes.
his wife murdered by a one-armed man.
Why
By
didn't-
the way, we don't give that one-armed man enough credit.
No kidding.
That must be difficult to murder someone with one arm.
Had he had two arms, that's a done deal.
You could have blended right into the
Blended
crowd.
right into the thing.
This guy he knew how to hide.
You think you'd wear a fake arm to murder someone so that people are like, no, he definitely,
had
two
two
arms.
arms.
Yeah. He couldn't be a one-armed man.
Well, but that doesn't seem strange, though, that he would just have one arm hanging limply by his side.
Not
One
defending
floppy
himself
arm.
with it.
It was the floppy-armed man.
Maybe his hand might be turned around the wrong way.
That's not an arm. That's a weird.
Why was he wearing one glove?
Michael Jackson?
Fair enough. Did Michael Jackson kill the fugitive's wife?
Ooh. Reopen that cold case.
Do you think Michael Jackson had
Let's get Quincy Jones on that.
Did Michael Jackson have a fake arm?
Are you a fan, like I am, of Quincy Jones Mysteries?
What about Quincy Jones Medicine Man?
Oh, somebody write it, please.
And one other detail I did want to, because
I wonder what it could be.
I'm barely remembering
Sure.
it. But how did Carlifer get her name?
The name Carlifer is a clumsy portmanteau of her parents' names, Carl and Jennifer.
Right. And did this ever come up in the relationship of
Well, Scott, as a
discussion?
matter of fact, it did. You know, when I was meeting Carlifer's parents for the first time, we'd been dating for some months, and I met her parents, dinner at their home. And what you have to understand is she comes from somewhat of a troubled home. Her mother is, of course, a vermouth alcoholic.
Right.
That's a hard one.
Yes,
That's tough. That's a lot of bottles.
She drinks bottle after bottle of vermouth.
And they're so small. Bottles are small.
They're not big.
No.
Even if you go to a Bevmo,
You're not going to get a liter of vermouth.
Costco, no, you're not, and you shouldn't.
No, you should not.
And her father, of course, is a sniveling, spineless worm.
Right.
So Jennifer wears the pants.
Well, when she can get them on properly, because she's not passed out drunk from vermouth.
So Carlifer was sort of in a broken home, didn't have a lot of parental guidance.
That's right.
And then you came over to meet them.
Yes.
And what was your reaction to them?
Well, when I met her father, her mother, of course, was in the kitchen on her 8th bottle of vermouth,
Right.
burning the dinner.
What was she cooking that night?
I think it was 3 towels.
Oh, no.
I think she'd had 3 thick and thirsty bath towels folded up in the oven.
Now, we had never spoken about that before.
That's
tough.
a new detail.
I was going to say, no sauce?
Oh, dear.
You gotta have gravy.
Yeah.
She may have ladled some conditioner on there. I don't know.
Oh, no.
And so when I met Carlifer's father, I decided I'm going to test this guy's mettle and see who I'm dealing with.
Right. Do you do that often when you meet a
You're
new
a metal
person?
tester?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I feel like I've got the measure of a man immediately.
Fair enough.
I don't remember you testing my metal.
I hadn't been metal tested either.
Yeah, I don't believe you have.
What?
Surprise, you both have.
What?
Whoa.
I did it in secret.
Oh, no.
I've got it down to a science.
You did it secretly, or you did it hiding from us in secret?
Both.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So we haven't seen you at a certain
I
point.
was here before you were here.
What?
Yes, I was waiting for you.
He's always been here.
Oh.
And I always will be.
Wait, you just live here?
I live here inside the walls.
Wait, have you met Mayor Junius Babaldoonery?
Oh, is he a little tiny guy?
A little tiny guy, yeah.
Yes, I have met him.
Oh, okay, great. So now you were testing Carl's metal.
Yes. I wanted to see who I was dealing with.
Right.
Nah.
Nah.
How'd it go? What was the results of this?
Well, here's what happened. He held out his hand for me to shake. I took it. I squeezed, and I subtly bent him backwards using just the power of my hand.
His spine backwards, or he took a step back?
I forced him to shrink from me.
Really?
Yes. And I said to his face,
Yes.
Carlifer is a clumsy portmanteau. And he thanked me for saying it.
He thanked you.
He got it.
Oh, what a
He
worm.
realized he made
He was
a
a
mistake.
coward. He was a coward.
He's yellow. He shirked from you.
Yes, he did.
Oh, my God. What a worm. Where is he now, I wonder?
Probably in the same chair, waiting for his wife to sober up.
Just eating a towel.
Or a washcloth.
Oh, my gosh. How do they...
If it's lunchtime.
Well...
Low five.
well,
Al,
let's
it's...
give it a medium 5. We met in the middle.
It's so good to see you, Al. I mean, you're one of our favorite
It's good
guests.
to be out of the shadows.
Yes, you are you getting out more? I mean, you've been this identity for so long.
Well, sometimes I put on disguises just so I can walk around and be free, but it's scary because the police and, of course, Carlifer could be around any corner.
Right. What kind of disguises are you putting on? Like Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean?
Exactly.
Are you working the stretch of Hollywood Boulevard? Or are you?
What do you mean?
Just
Do you know the Man's Chinese Theater?
Yeah,
I've heard of it, of course.
Have you ever passed by it?
I don't think so.
in costume because you should.
Why is that?
You might make a little extra dough.
A little extra cash for you.
By walking past the theater? That
Yeah,
seems
people will want
ridiculous.
to hand you money if you're in a clever
You'll have to take a few
disguise.
pictures.
Oh, I'm out.
Oh,
I
okay.
can't have my picture taken, of course.
Not even in
Not even in
disguise.
disguise?
Not even in disguise.
Oh.
Technology is such now they can remove my disguise digitally and know exactly who I am.
There's an app for that?
Probably.
Then how do you handle your
You were
social
so
media
confident.
profiles?
Oh, I have an intern do that.
Oh, fair enough. That's just sensible.
I've taken on some interns.
Okay. So
They do the majority of the shaving.
that's right. You're still faking it. I don't know why you have to fake it. It almost seems like Carlifer and the authorities would be looking for a hairless man.
Scott, don't be absurd. The interns don't shave me. I do that myself.
The shaving
clients.
of the clients,
Yes.
of course.
Oh, I see,
Sorry,
I
yes.
see.
I made that mistake too.
And was there something where you shave everyone except for their buttholes?
That's right. I let them retain the hair around their anus so they can still keep some of their own identity
Yes, that's right.
that only they will know about.
Right.
Is that just because of your butthole aversion, or is it?
I'm not going to lie. That's a big part of it.
Did you ever have a client in the initial stages who farted in your face and you were like, okay.
I can't do this anymore. I cannot do this. This is a bridge too far.
To answer your other question, the reason I keep shaving is because I love to swim.
Oh, that's true.
Saving precious seconds.
That's right.
Yeah.
My speed
What's
has
your stroke?
increased. I love the breaststroke. Mm-hmm. I love the butterfly. Mm-hmm. I love the crab. I love the selkie. Mm-hmm. Dog paddle, number one with a bullet.
Dog battle is number one.
Love it. Love it.
Really? It doesn't seem that fun to me.
I'm probably the fastest dog battler you've ever
And
met.
are you a distance man or a sprinter?
Both.
Oh, good.
Both.
I sprint,
What's,
I sprint for
Multiple.
distance.
what's your time on, say, the 200 meter?
What do you do 100 meters dog paddle in? Got to be under a minute.
Oh, yes. It's, I think my last best was 29 seconds, but that was quite a while ago. I haven't achieved
very,
that.
very fast.
Very
dog
fast,
paddle.
especially for a dog paddle. Yeah.
That's a very fast
My last
dog
time was
paddle.
probably 44 seconds.
44 seconds. Wow.
That's still an impressive dog paddle.
What
Thank
is
you very
what
much.
is Phelps doing? Like a
Phelps dog paddle? A Phelps dog paddle probably goes in at about the low 40s, sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's Olympic level dog paddling.
We'll never know because he refuses to accept my challenge.
He will never do it. And by the way, you mentioned the selkie.
Yes.
Few people can do the selkie.
It's very difficult.
ever anymore.
What is it? What exactly is the
It's a
selkie?
stroke from the 17th century that nobody really practices anymore, and it's
How
quite
describe
impressive.
it if you
well,
could?
you start at the end of the pool.
Sure, much like any.
You jump in the pool like a human being.
Okay.
But then the idea is, as you make your way across the pool, you transform into a seal.
Oh.
An
Okay.
Irish
like
seal,
a
I believe.
yes, an
isn't
Irish
it?
seal.
An Irish
Correct.
seal. So you have to sort of take on the affect of an Irish seal.
The
and
attributes of a
But you
seal.
you also have to act out the transformation.
There's that.
Oh, I see.
mean,
So
this is
sort of
why
like
it's a very high degree of difficulty. You have to be both swimmer and actor.
Yeah, sort of like the morphing technology that James Cameron invented for Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
Or black and white. I think Michael Jackson's.
That's true, yeah.
Seminal
Black-
video.
Now you're talking.
Oh, okay, you had no idea what. Do you not go see movies?
He is on the run.
Except you've been here in L.A. for a surprisingly long amount of time.
The only movie I've ever seen is Blue Jasmine.
Blue Jasmine.
I can't stay at a movie theater for too long.
Is that because of
I
Dice Clay?
usually last a half hour.
I think I have a friend who has only seen Blue Jasmine.
Yes, Blue
as well.
Jasmine, the Andrew Dice Clay film.
The Andrew Dice Clay movie, right?
Ford Fairlane, Blue Jasmine. That's right. That's the extent of his filmography.
And of course, vinyl.
Yes. Oh, you remember the poster to vinyl,
By the
right?
way, sunglasses, of course, were invented a long time ago because Dracula wore them, as we saw in that one film.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
You have seen more films than just Andrew
Well, I've
Dice
seen a
Clay.
half hour of many films.
Yeah. Do you know my friend Tracy? Tracy Reardon?
Who's that?
She's a willful, ignorant child who she can only see a half hour of films. And Blue Jasmine, I believe, is the only one that she's seen back to back.
Is she also a wanted criminal?
No, she's not. I mean, I do believe she may be in trouble recently because Claire's is going out of business.
Oh.
So, and that's
Who's Claire?
It's one of her only jobs. Or one of her only jobs. She has several jobs, so it's one of her only ones, though. She also works at Baskin Robbins.
Who's Robbins?
Do you think Tony Robbins?
Baskin, I know.
Do you think Tony Robbins is part of that conglomerate?
Has to be.
If he's not, he's crazy.
He's crazy.
He's missing out.
He's got to invest in at least 29 of those 31 flavors.
Now, you say your friend, the only movie she's seen back to back is Blue Jasmine?
I believe so. And that's your experience as well?
Well, I've seen Blue Jasmine all the way through. Is that what you meant?
That is probably what I meant. When I say back to back,
I mean all the way through.
I didn't watch it twice in a row.
I guess I mean the front being one back and the end being another back.
Both backs. Yeah, everyone gets that. That's English.
If you see a whole movie, that's called Making the Beach with Both Backs.
Well, Al, it's great to see you. How's your business going? Everything going well?
It's going great.
Yeah.
People are faking their deaths all the time.
What is the biggest reason
John,
you get from
would you
why do
ever
people
fake your own death?
I would not. I want to
You're
live.
on top of the world at this
You say
point.
that now.
Well, exactly. So what is the number one reason people come to you? Here's why. I gotta get out.
Money
Why?
troubles?
Yeah, is it cash? Is it
Relationship?
You'd think it was money troubles. But it's not.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you exactly what it is.
After this break. Oh, okay, I guess we do have to take a break. This is exciting.
That's a real cliffhanger.
Yeah, on the other side of this, we're going to hear what the number one reason why people fake their own death. We'll be right back with more John Hamm, more L.A. Peterson. We also have a friend of ours, a park ranger, coming up, Marjorie Kershaw, and a trainer will be a little later. So come on back after this, more Comedy Bang Bang. Comedy Bang Bang, we're back here with John Hamm. Beirut opens this Friday. How many screens? How many reels?
7 screens, 42 reels.
That's a long one.
It's a 42-hour movie.
Wow.
And it's because it's so in depth.
Sure. It's all in one shot, I heard.
It's all in one shot. It takes place over.
So it only took 42 hours to film, which is great.
It takes place over one 42-hour day, and
there are a lot of extra hours in the day people don't know because they go to sleep. But there's like
people don't get it. Like
there's like 18 extra hours.
If you manage to stay up, you can see all 42 hours of the day.
Sleep must be nice.
You don't sleep?
I very rarely sleep.
Really? Why?
I'm vigilant
Because you're
at all
always on the
times.
run.
I'm always on the run.
But you're just staying here in the walls at Earwolf.
There's a lot of noise here.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of people shouting, some people dying. So 42 hours. That's amazing. So
yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful film, and if anybody ever watches the whole thing through, they'll be transformed.
And it incorporates, I would imagine, one sun up and one sun down.
Absolutely.
Wow.
That's
what you want in a film. You know, you want to see the sun go up, you want to see the sun go down.
Good night.
Yep, exactly. We also have L.A. Peterson here, the smooth criminal, and before the break, this is exciting.
What? Man, I was like,
I was on the edge of my seat.
Tenterhooks.
Oh my goodness! He mentioned that the number one reason why people fake their deaths is
not
money, not relationships. It's actually something different. What is it?
It's calling people Carolyn when their name is Caroline.
Oh my God!
What?
I've done it.
It's embarrassing.
And by the way, I've wanted to end my own life.
Yeah.
You're 100% correct.
Oh my gosh, that what a terrible situation to be in.
You know you'll see that person again. Unless.
Wait, what were you going to say?
Well,
you just stopped.
Unless you come to
I'm sorry.
Al intervenes.
Oh, got it. Yeah, okay.
By the way, I've never done this before, but since we're talking about John's business, I'd like to talk about my business a little bit. Just a little
certainly.
plug. If you are looking to fake your own death, if you've called someone Carolyn and their name is Caroline, if you've thought someone was pregnant and you found out they're not at all.
Said how many months?
You can contact me, of course, through German Craigslist.
Really?
The listing is in code.
Craigslist?
Craigslist.
And it's in code, you say?
Yes, it's in code.
In German?
Yeah.
And what is the code for people so that they can contact you?
Basically, you just have to read all the ads.
Oh,
and
okay.
then
And decode all of them?
Figure out which one.
The
It'll
one-
be up.
My ad, it's not, if you're just skimming, it's not obvious. But if you really read
them,
completely take in every single ad on German Craigslist.
So it's not gibberish.
It is not gibberish.
But it is something that when you read it very, very carefully,
It'll be like the ad is winking at you.
I see. A little sly nod.
I also include the emoticon where it's like the semicolon and then parentheses.
So that's
close
a winky face.
Yes, exactly.
So you include that emoticon, which is just the one right side up.
Yeah, look for that.
Okay, got it.
Right side up.
Right side up head with winking.
Right side up head with winking.
Is an emoticon can be a combination of characters?
Yes, that's what an emoticon is.
Oh, I thought it was
Are
just
you
one
thinking
thing
of
now.
an emoji?
Oh, I'm thinking of emojis.
Yes, they're
I
very
love
good.
those. Do you like those?
The early version of an emoticon.
I don't like those because, I wrote a screenplay for Emoticon, the movie.
Oh, no.
dear.
Never got made.
That's unfortunate.
Yes.
That's unfortunate.
It was going to be live action, too.
That's tough. Did you say that several times in the script? Like, hey, by the way, this
I
is...
reminded people, yes, on every page. Don't forget this is live action.
Don't forget.
This is...
Well,
Think Sir Ian McKellen.
I'm so sorry about that, but
Thank you.
no more time to get into that because we have to get to our next guest, if that's all right.
That's fine by me.
And
I can't even stay for the whole show, probably.
really? You have to go? Why is that?
Well, he's on the run.
Thank you very much. I don't know why you keep forgetting this.
He's literally looking over both shoulders constantly.
Yeah, and you, if someone were to burst in here, what would you do?
Yeah, what would you do?
Right back
one
in the
door.
walls.
There's 4 corners in this room. It's not a pentagon nor a pyramid.
Well, that's why I keep those smoke bombs.
That's right.
Smoke bomb and you're out.
Yes.
That's
Smoke
impressive.
bomb and I'm out.
So if you're bursting into a room, block the door with your body and don't be confused by the smoke.
Why are you giving advice to people trying to catch me?
Well, I mean, I what I loved about The Fugitive was Tommy Lee Jones was as good at chasing fugitives as Harrison Ford was at being the fugitive.
Can I tell you something?
So I want an evenly matched.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sick of hearing about The Fugitive. It's very insulting to me.
You brought it up, didn't you?
No.
Who did?
You.
You did.
What?
You did, Scott.
I don't know. It's a great film.
I don't care.
Al correctly informed us that we were wrong about the one-armed man's role, and he clearly knows a lot about
How did you
both
ever watch-
fugitives and The Fugitive.
How did you ever watch an hour television program like The Fugitive?
I would, of course, record it
Okay.
and then fast forward through the commercials.
Okay. Well, that's still 45 minutes. You can only sit for a half hour at a time?
You get the gist.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Also, you can cut out the first 5-10 minutes of any hour-long show.
Yeah, that's true.
And you can follow
Just
along.
all
just
set
fine.
up.
It's all set up. Character development.
All right. Well, we do need to get, speaking of character development, to our next guest. All right, well, we have a wonderful guest coming on now. I mentioned he had a job, and that's very exciting. Yeah. But I didn't want to say what it was. Well, let's let him talk about it. He is known as the Smooth Criminal. Please welcome L.A. Peterson. L.A.
Scott, hi. It's good to see you. Thanks for having me on the show.
My pleasure. Has it, just because it's in my head now, when people see you, do they sing I love L.A.? Like, I love L.A. Peterson?
Yeah, do they sing that?
One person does, apparently. And it just happened.
It's great to see you, L.A. Peterson.
It's good to see you, Scott.
The Smooth Criminal.
The Smooth Criminal. L.A. Peterson, the Smooth Criminal.
That's right.
I bet that reminds my uncle of a dance he loves to do.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised. Here it comes. Let's turn.
Can't do it to the side.
Just seem to be
That's scary.
leaning over.
Got a bad knee.
Got a bad knee.
Got a bad.
One that does make you sick?
Let's run through your story here, just very briefly.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, just the most brief version.
I feel as if we've... Scott, I'm going to say something to you.
Yeah.
I've been on your show many times, and
sure,
it's always a pleasure to be here, but I do feel as if you always want me to start at square one, just explaining who I am.
Let's elevator pitch this. Let's encapsulate it down. Basically,
So I'm correct. This is what you want to do.
Just there are people who have never heard the show before. I want
true.
It's very true. Yeah, there's a gentleman right over there, and I don't want him to talk, but
Let me ask you yes or no questions, and you can nod or shake your head so that no verbal compliance is...
This is the opposite of an exit row on an airplane.
Exactly. I do not need a verbal confirmation. You say you've never heard of the show, is that correct? So you're not familiar with L.A. Peterson, the Smooth Criminal?
He said
All right.
no.
For this gentleman I will.
For this gentleman, you will.
Elevator pitch myself as a person.
Okay.
And then can you do it too, Scott?
I'd be interested in hearing that. I think we should all do it. I think
Mine's
if you have,
pretty- I
if
think
you have
mine's
other
pretty
guests.
clear.
Yeah, we do. So yours is basically you.
Yeah, let's hear you tell it.
Your job, if I'm remembering correctly,
This is my business.
business
I'm
job.
a small business owner.
You're a small, yes. So it's not like you were employed at this as much as you employ yourself to do this.
Exactly.
You help people fake their own deaths.
Yes.
When they want to get out of situations they don't want to be in,
Exactly.
such as relationships.
Sometimes, well, there's a number of reasons why someone might fake their own death.
Sure. Credit.
Credit, for instance.
They want the credit.
They want the credit for being dead.
They want the ultimate credit. That headstone.
That's right.
A big test at school.
Well, I won't do children. People seeing adult education? Absolutely. If you have a big test in your continuing education school, and you're very nervous about it, I will help you fake your own death. But kids, sorry, you're out of luck. You're just going to have to put the thermometer on the light bulb like everybody else.
Good idea.
Uh-oh. Sorry, Scott.
Oh man, I've been keeping her away from him.
Interesting.
It doesn't even hurt anymore.
So you basically help these people fake their own deaths.
I help people fake their own deaths.
By shaving their entire bodies.
Yes. Now, I, of course, am completely hairless.
Yes.
And
The
that's
sweat
how
just the sweat just rolls off you in every direction.
It really does.
It's like an Under Armour shirt. It's just flicking onto us.
Elijah Cummings, rest in peace, from Baltimore. Strange reaction. Anyway, what were we saying?
So you're hairless.
I'm completely hairless.
You're hairless.
I'm completely hairless because I faked alopecia to get out of a long-term relationship.
Now, and remind me of who this relationship was.
This was to my college sweetheart, Carlifer.
Right.
Imagine living with him. He doesn't remember anything I've ever said. It's really.
Please tell me the story about. This is. I love having you on the show because I love hearing about Carlifer. What?
All right, I'm gonna blaze through this because I've told this story a million times.
Oh, but it tickles me to know it.
Okay, very briefly.
All right.
I had a college sweetheart named Carlifer. As things got serious, we were going to be engaged. I got cold feet.
Wait, can I interrupt you?
Yes, of course.
Did her parents try to name her cauliflower, but they couldn't know how to spell it?
No. Todd, you're getting way ahead of the story. But don't worry. Your curiosity will be sated. As Carlifer and I got more serious, I tried to get out of the relationship by shaving my entire body and saying I had alopecia, thinking, and severely underestimating Carlifer, that she would be turned off by this and would break up. But of course, Carlifer was a wonderful person. And she did not break up with me. And so I faked my own death and left the relationship, taking with me her favorite hoodie. Now, the story Scott wants to hear is the story of when I first met Carlifer's parents. I feel that this is negative reinforcement. Their names, Carl and Jennifer. Her name, Carlifer, a clumsy portmanteau of the two.
But do you think maybe sometimes they thought they were writing cauliflower, but they wrote Carlifer?
Sometimes.
Todd, do you mean sometimes when they were like ordering from Uber Eats or something and they
No,
thought
when they were like making the birth certificate, they sometimes were like, is it cauliflower?
Sometimes when they were making the birth certificate, they may have been thinking, is it cauliflower?
Yeah. So were you just repeating what I said, or were you saying yeah?
I'll let you decide.
Okay. All right.
So the night that I met Carl, Carlifer's father. Now, what you must understand is, he's a weak, sniveling worm.
Where was Jennifer?
Carlifer's mother, Jennifer, a vermouth drunk, was in the kitchen drinking her 6th bottle of vermouth of the day, ruining the dinner we were about to eat.
Ruining it how? Like cooking badly or making it fall down?
Both. She cooked it badly and she made it fall down.
Whoa.
I was in the living room with Carlifer, her father Carl, when Carl explained to me that Carlifer's name was a portmanteau of Carl and Jennifer. I opined that it was a clumsy portmanteau. I told him so. I shook his hand. I forced him to shrink before me. And he thanked me for it.
Yeah.
You're really cool.
Thanks, Todd. I think you're a pretty cool guy yourself.
Wow.
When you're old enough and you want to fake your own death, look me up.
I'll need it soon.
How old are you again?
Middle school.
That's right.
So, cut to now. You've escaped.
Smash cut to now.
You flash forward to now. You've now started your own business based upon your own experience.
Yes.
And you help people out by shaving them.
I shave their entire bodies. I give them a fake passport. I shave their entire bodies.
Personally?
Yes.
Except for one part.
The hair around their anus, that's correct. So that they may retain some sense of their original identity. Now, we used to do the passport first, the shaving second. That was a big mistake. You live and you learn.
When do you get anus hair?
That's a good question, Todd, and I'm not entirely sure of the answer. It just seems like it's always been there, but of course it hasn't been.
It's probably different for everybody.
Have you looked lately?
I look every day. I measure the growth on a chart.
So there is some.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I'm happy for you.
Thanks, but I don't. Is it? So it is good.
It's a big day in every young man's life.
Well, mine's getting this high up the wall.
How are you measuring it against the wall?
So, I'm not allowed to have school supplies.
Any school supplies.
So I don't have a ruler, but I have created a way to measure things that's like you make your own ruler where you draw dashes on your finger. And then I held it there and pulled the longest hair. Mm-hmm. And then I put it against the wall and measure like the height.
So you were able to put a dash on your finger as it was against your longest
I drew the
hair.
dashes first, and then I pushed in with my thumb when the hair was done.
Sure.
And I
When it was
could-
done.
And I could see the lines.
So once the hair's finished, you feel like you can get an accurate read on how long it is.
I've asked for help, but he won't. It's where he draws the line.
I don't think that's weird. I think it's actually probably a good idea.
So, I think we're all caught up. That was very quick.
I would assume so.
What are you doing in Portland, if I may ask?
Well, you know, Scott, I don't like to divulge the names of my clients, all the people that have killed them, faked their own deaths
Whoa.
to pursue a different identity as someone else. Elijah Cummings, for example. Don't worry about him. He's fine. You didn't hear that from me, by the way.
We'll always save a seat for him.
But it,
So like, the people, they get bald all over.
bald all over.
B-A-O. Bow.
Bow. Bow is bay. That's what we say in my business.
So they get bow, and then they go to the world and just say, I have alopecia. And then does
Some
anyone,
do.
And then does anybody have to shave them regularly to keep it up?
I'm sorry. They're on their own.
You don't
I give
do
them the tools to start a new life.
shaving cream, razor.
That's right. A big Barbasol.
But there's no curbside shaving service that you offer.
A curbside shaving service?
Where they come to your house and you come out to the curb.
Wouldn't that be
Shave them.
suspicious?
I think it would, especially if it was on the curb.
And happening regularly at his house? Wouldn't it make more sense if he went
I
to their house?
Even if I went to someplace else, if I did it on the curb, it would be very suspicious.
I'd love to see someone get shaved on the curb.
I bet you would.
Todd, I feel like we're going back to his details when we want to push forward.
First we do details, then we do what's next, right?
Yes, you're learning. Good.
Okay.
Todd, I hope you take over for me.
I think it's okay to ask details about the business because you never do. And
you expressly said you didn't want
Wait,
we go over everything.
I don't. Well, these are things we've never gone over.
Oh, really?
LA.
We've gone over these.
we've gone over the broad strokes, but we're getting into details now that I think are interesting.
Okay.
LA.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong.
If my uncle fakes his
It's
death.
LA.
LA.
LA Peterson, the smooth criminal.
LA. How am I saying it?
You were saying LA.
LA. LA. Right?
No.
If my uncle fakes his death by getting shaved and then he can't do the show anymore, he said I'd just take over for him. So would I have to be him? And do you help with people who replace the people who have died?
Well, when someone fakes their own death, usually we don't then find someone to be that person that they were.
It's not like a Doctor Who situation.
No, because we've faked their death. So the idea is that that person doesn't exist anymore.
But what if the
We don't fake their life.
But what if their job still has to get done?
They should have thought about that before they came to L.A. Peterson, the smooth criminal.
You're saying L.A.
I'm saying L.A. Peterson, the smooth criminal.
It would be cool if every human being was like Spider-Man, where we're like,
That would be cool.
Who's the new
Now.
Elijah Cummings?
Oh.
When you could shoot it out of your hands.
Did you hear Ving Rhames is the new Elijah Cummings?
I was as confused at that reaction as I was about your statement. So, what am I doing in Portland, you ask? Now, usually I have to be very secretive because of my job. My job is very secretive. I help people fake their own deaths. We've been over this.
I can't hear you. Your voice is so low.
Can we turn up me and the monitors for Todd?
You should talk in a higher timbre.
I wish that I could, but I have a problem with my vocal cords.
They're bass.
They don't go all the way up.
Did you ever have that surgery that they do with dogs to silence dogs where they shove a thing down their throat?
Oh, I'm a person.
Oh.
Scott only.
Have you had many dog surgeries?
Just the one that's important.
Is that why you've been wearing that cone?
Around my penis.
To make it look big.
Who, you Marilyn Manson? All right, lots going on.
He only takes me to the vet instead of the doctor. If
I'm sorry, a doctor's too expensive.
If I have a cough, I have to pretend I'm a dog.
How's that usually go? Do you put on a costume of some sort?
I just say that he's a hairless dog.
But I get on all
He's got
fours.
I mean, yeah, one that's about this big off the floor.
I have pubes too, and hair on my head. Of my penis.
All right.
And I need help. It's weird. Help me. It gets very
Alan.
matted. I'm sick.
I think you actually might be.
So you're in Portland. Usually you have to keep it secret, but now you don't have to keep it secret.
I have a very special client. This is someone who's, let's say, reclusive, who invites more attention than he's comfortable with, and he'd like to do something about that by changing his look and maybe starting over somewhere else.
Okay, can you say who this client is?
Well, of course I can, but it's a very, very well-known resident of the area. Someone who's very hirsute.
Cool.
Bigfoot?
Oh, now, that was your words, not mine. Anyways.
You've taken on Bigfoot as a client.
Please.
But like, here's the thing though, like, he's already questionable whether he's real or not.
Oh, believe me, we talked about this. Not that we talked about this. I'm not confirming that my client is who you say my
But
client
hypothetically, if you were to have Bigfoot as a
if
client...
I were to have... You're saying, if I did it, here's how I would have done it?
Yes.
Yeah.
If I had spoken with Bigfoot, here's what I would have said. People are already having a hard time. Hello, child. People are already...
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
I thought a very small baseball player was here, but then no, it's this child.
Whoops.
Playing for the O's.
If I were to... stands for Oregon, I believe. If I were to speak to Bigfoot, I would say to him, look, people are already having a hard time tracking you down. There's only the blurriest of photos. I think you're doing pretty good. And then perhaps Bigfoot would have said to me, it's still too much. I like my privacy. And I don't like being hounded by these people that are trying to catch me.
But LA, don't you think like it might be scarier if you saw a gigantic naked man with no hair?
If I were continuing my conversation with Bigfoot, I absolutely would have brought that up.
Yeah.
But if you were continuing that conversation, what would Bigfoot's rejoinder have been?
Bigfoot would have said, had I been speaking with Bigfoot, which of course I have not confirmed that I have been, he would have said, let me tell you something. The moment people even get a glimpse of a naked person my size, they look away. It's scary to see.
What's he most like in terms of species?
What would he most be like if
Yeah.
I knew him and he were real?
Yeah.
Like a big ape.
But human proportions?
Yes, like someone in an ape costume.
Like Harry and the Hendersons?
Yes, exactly.
Shaved nude?
Yes, exactly.
How many square feet is his butt?
How many square feet is it? Well, he's not known for being very wide. More very tall.
So it's
But that's
maybe
a lot
2 by
of-
1?
Sure, if you like. I'll admit, I'm not good with square footage. Here are the things I'm not good with. Square footage. Knowing how much it is when someone tells me how much a baby weighs.
Could be anything. Yeah, I hear like...
Well, someone says, oh, he was 9 pounds, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Do I make a face like, that's big? Or do I say, oh, that's normal? Or do I say, is he okay?
We don't know.
I don't know how much is a baby supposed to weigh.
10-ish? I don't know.
10's fat for a baby.
10's fat?
Mm-hmm.
You think it's because of fat and not height?
Is it necessarily fat or tall? What if you had a very tall baby?
Lanky.
I was 10 pounds when I was born.
And how tall were you?
I was 5'2".
That's a tall baby.
Yeah. But you should have said, are you okay?
I think we've established you're very unwell.
Well, L.A., this is incredible. I mean, the Sasquatch himself...
I mean, it would be.
Sure. Would he like to be called Sasquatch, or is that some sort of...
Why would he like to be called Sasquatch?
How would you say it, a person not from Chicago?
Sasquatch! Sasquatch?
See, I like to split the difference. I say Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Sasquatch. Is that a slur to him, or...
No, it's not a slur. I think between the two, he would prefer Sasquatch to Bigfoot.
What's his real name?
It's Evelyn.
Well, maybe if we all said we had an Evelyn sighting, he would feel better and be more open to staying who he is.
I think he'd hate that even more because that's his true self.
Oh.
Why
people to know.
Why are they... I don't want to assign a gender to them. Why are they so reclusive in the first place?
Sasquatch, Evelyn. If I were to know why he's so reclusive, is because he thinks his voice is funny.
Wow.
Funny voice, really?
Like, what's it
Funny
like?
voice.
Like
Yeah,
Seinfeld?
could you do a... Is he like, what's the deal with these feet?
Higher.
Higher than Seinfeld.
He sounds like an extremely high-pitched Seinfeld.
What's the deal with these feet?
You Sasquatch, you?
That was me.
Oh.
That was me. L.A.
You scared me.
So he has just an annoying, grating voice.
He doesn't like his voice.
Wow.
No, who does, though? No, people don't like it.
Well, I mean, you do.
I very much like my voice. But a lot of people don't. So I'm told. A lot of people ask me when they go for the procedure to have their death faked. They say, can you do anything about my voice? And I say, that's on you. You've got to come up with your own voice.
It's a procedure when you shave them?
People are more comfortable with the term procedure than now's the part where I shave you. I say, it's time for the procedure. People prefer that to, there's another lesson learned the hard way.
Well, this is incredible, L.A. I mean, what a superstar.
It would be if it were true.
If it were true. What a superstar client if that were to be the case. And yet, unfortunately, you will toil away in obscurity if it is the case, because...
If I'm doing my job right.
Does he want to then get a new passport?
He wants to get a new passport.
One that...
allows him to travel from place to place?
Sure.
He does not currently have a passport. So this would be a new one, yes.
Okay. The first of many, perhaps.
You do have to renew them.
Every 10 years.
But
How old is he?
You mean, how old do I think he is? If I think he's real?
Yeah.
He's 500 years old.
So you think he's gonna get so much older he'll need many more passports? He's probably gonna die soon.
He's 500 years old. That implies he's going to be living a long time, not that he's
Really?
close to death.
Let me ask you this. Kirk Douglas, he's 102 years old.
You think he's gonna live long now because he's 102? Kirk Douglas?
No, I'm asking questions here.
Oh. Okay.
How old do you think Michael Douglas will live to be? If Kirk Douglas is presently 102 and still not dead.
Are they on a train going any miles per hour?
Yes. They're going on a train to Chicago, going 65 miles per hour. Now, there's
And how
someone...
many years do they age a year?
They age 1 year per year.
Okay.
Now, they're approaching a car that is stalled out on the train tracks.
Oh, no.
The car is filled with a family of 4.
No.
Mom, dad, 2 little kids. But they're cannibals. So,
They should be killed?
should they?
So it's a moral question?
Because in the trunk is a missionary who delivers food to African children.
Are any
Dead?
Alive. Or is she only alive as long as she's in the trunk? And if you open the trunk, she's dead.
Can I ask
So,
Al,
okay, there's- it's-
are any of the...
We're on the verge of a breakthrough here, Scott.
Michael Douglas will be 109!
Incorrect. Scott, your question.
What?
The cannibal?
Yes.
Is she a woman?
You've cracked it.
Thank you!
It was a riddle?
Yes, the family of cannibals was a woman.
Wow. All right, L.A. Peterson, everyone. Amazing.
The smooth criminal.
The Smooth Criminal.